What's up, guys? Prowl 1701 here, and today to celebrate, I just scooted my chair and went all over the place. All right, got to get a new chair. We're doing a video to celebrate hitting 1,000 subscribers. I am super excited. This has been my goal for a long time, so I really appreciate each and every one of you. It really does mean a lot that there's over 1,000 people that enjoy my channel and subscribe to my channel. So to celebrate, we're going to be ranking every companion, or what I consider a companion, from worst to best. Alistacia says, oh wait, this is like a list. I am actually very curious to see. Ah, nice. It's going to be a good one. Now, what counts as a companion kind of varies from person to person. It's really hard to kind of nail down. But I have a list. The way I compiled my list, I came up with, I think it's 58 people. So we're going to be ranking about 58 people. Buckle up. This could be a long list, especially considering how distracted I get by the chat. This could be a long video. Get your popcorn, get your soda pops, buckle in. This could be a long one. I don't think we have some other things going on today too. I think that Doctor Who trailer for the 60th is supposed to drop later. I don't think that's happened yet. Where did I set my glasses? There they are. Ah, there we are. Very nice. Woo! It is very hot. Had to turn on the AC right before I started. So, if anyone knows about the trailer popping up while we're doing this, let me know. I do want to react to that trailer at some point. So, at the very bottom of the list, in 58th place, this is going to be such a long list, I have Chameleon. I just don't get into Chameleon. He's all right in The King's Demons, because he's not really chameleon much. He's mostly the king, and I like the actor playing the king. But I really don't like him in Planet of Fire. I don't get into Chameleon. I'm glad they destroyed him at the end of Planet of Fire. I just never really connected with him. Finding King's Demons, didn't like him in Planet of Fire, even if Planet of Fire by itself is decent. Let's see. Sutter, what's up, Sutter? Yes, this is live. This is indeed live. We are ranking all of the companions. We just started in last place, which is Chameleon. I do not get into Chameleon. Moving up to 57th place, we have Dodo. I just don't really do Dodo. Now, I haven't seen a lot of Dodo stuff, and Dodo is there when a lot of the episodes are missing, a lot of season 3, which is missing. And season 3, when John Wiles was producing it, he didn't really hire John Cura to do the telesnaps, so a lot of the missing ones don't have telesnaps, sadly. So a lot of her era is in that kind of limbo where it's hard to watch, but I never get into Dodo. I think she actually gets a little to do in the Gunfighters. It's actually one of the few things about the Gunfighters I like. Let's see, Playing with History. What's up, buddy? It's good to see you. 58, that's an ambitious list. I'm only familiar with classic companions, and I still don't think I could rank them in order. Placing them in tiers is probably the best I could do. Yes, I really wish I knew how to do that. When people have the little good, bad, others tier list, and they can show them on screen. I don't know how to do that. I'm just not very technically capable. I've really got to find like a good mentor who knows how to do all this computer stuff. I would love to do a tiers list. What's up, Jake? Man, I could not. That's way too difficult. Yeah, you're right, Jake. You're right. It was a hard list to make out. And I made it from the bottom up. A bit surprised you have Adam above Dodo, though. Adam's actually fairly high on this list. I'll talk about why when I get to him. And Adam is on the list. I lost my train of thought. But yeah, I never really got into Dodo. I like her in the Gunfighter. She has stuff to do. But I don't like how they treat Steven in the Gunfighters, but that's another story. I never get into Dodo. I need more of Dodo's era to get animated. Plus her companion departure is terrible. So she just kind of falls here for now. I need to see more of her time. Number 56 on the list is Vendor. I didn't really care for Vendor. He's kind of one note. Bella is not on the list, and she doesn't really interact with the Doctor much, but Vendor feels like a two-dimensional character. He feels like this was supposed to be Captain Jack, but all the stuff happened with John Barrowman. And so they quickly wrote in Vendor. The actor playing him is fine. I just don't really get into him. He's a bit one note. I was fine when he came back in Power of the Doctor, even though it's not much of a reason for it. Yeah, I count him. He was one of those I kind of wrote in at the 11th hour. I mean, he is technically with her in 2 trips, and he does travel in the TARDIS. And some of the people I count as companions don't travel in the TARDIS. So technically, and I can get that, Jake. I can get not counting him as a companion, but he does travel in the TARDIS, which is some people's criteria. And I have people on the list who don't travel in the TARDIS. So he made the list. He just barely made the list. This is where he falls in 56th place. The actor playing him is fine. I have nothing against him. I just felt Bender was a very 2D character. I don't have Bella on the list. Number 55 on the list is Mel. I just don't get Mel. I don't remember if I put Sarah King. I don't think, no, I haven't put Master's Plan people on the list, but that's only because I haven't seen Master Plan. So I don't have Sarah Kingdom, and I don't have Katarina, but that's because I haven't seen Master Plan. So it would have felt weird to have them on the list. Now, I don't really get into Mel. Nothing against Bonnie Langford. Matter of fact, I just listened to an audio with Mel in it that a review will be coming up for, I think, in mid or late October on the channel, although they'll be getting it for early access on the Patreon in just a few days. Sometimes the Patreon guys get really early access if y'all ever want to check that out. They'll be getting it in the next few days, but it should be coming out on the channel, I think, in mid to late October. Mel gets some really good character development in that. There's actually 2 Mels in it, so it's a really good listen. But just, I felt Mel wasn't fleshed out very well. I'm sure some of y'all would agree with that. She does a lot of the screaming, the very screaming. I hope Russell can redeem Mel. She honestly has the worst scream ever. Torture every time I say yes. I'm hoping when Mel shows up in Series 14, she'll get some much needed character development. Because I like Bonnie. I liked Mel in the final act of Trial of the Time Lord. She didn't bother me as much. Plus her outfits and some stuff. Her outfit in Time in the Ronnie. I don't get into Mel. I'm actually happy. That's one of the pluses for Dragonfire is she leaves. She never gets that character development. She's screaming and making the Doctor exercise. She feels so two-dimensional to me. Mel is a truly annoying character, but Bonnie Langford is awesome. See, I can agree with that. I look forward to what Russell Davis does with her. Me too. Moving up on the list, and this is the one character who appears on the list twice because she serves with 2 doctors, and my opinion of her, depending on which doctor it is vastly different. So there is one person going to appear on this list twice. Jay says it's like the studio footage for season 24 where it's 20 minutes of multiple takes of her screaming. I couldn't bear that. I don't watch those on the box sets. The studio footage, I couldn't bear that. I would have thrown something through my TV. But number 54 on the list is Clara Oswald with the 12th Doctor. Now, she's slightly above the ones we've already talked about because there are episodes that I do like Clara with 12, believe it or not, like Flatline. I actually think she does really well in Flatline, Mummy on the Orient Express, Deep Breath. I love her actually a lot in Robots of Sherwood. It's really Listen kind of starts the Clara Who thing that makes me want to scream. And it gets progressively kind of worse in Series 8, but it's really Series 9 when it becomes the Clara Who Show with her plucky sidekick, the Doctor. I do not like it. What was it, the end of Series 8 when it does the intro, but Clara's actually trying to trick the Cybermen into claiming she's the Doctor? It's like, I'm the Doctor, I'm a Time Lord. And the intro of the show has her eyebrows on the front. And the 60th trailer dropped. We might review that during this video, actually. I was actually wondering if it would drop, because I know everybody in the UK is like 6 hours ahead of me here in the States. We may actually react to that during the video. Somebody needs to send me a link. But yeah, and Clara it really does become the Clara Hodges show. Alice Dish says, that's my very hot take within the context of this channel. I found season 9 Clara nonsense very fun. She's my favorite New Who companion. That's all right. That's all right. Nobody's perfect. I won't hold it against you. You're entitled to that silly opinion. I'm just kidding. I remember telling my best friend about that, something. My best friend Shane, my friend with all the kids, told him, you're entitled to your ridiculous opinion. We have fun here. But yeah, I don't get into the Clara Who thing. And in her final episode, I mean, she had a pretty good exit and faced the Raven, but then they brought her back and she gets not only her own TARDIS, not only near immortality, not only her own companion, but we even have Capaldi say at one point, he goes, Clara Who? And I feel like Stephen Moffat is just flipping us off, just flat out flipping us off. So there are some good episodes of Clara with 12, but just overall, what they did with her makes me mad. Number 53 on the list is Susan. Let's be honest, Susan did not get developed as well as she should have. Susan occasionally gets a nice moment to shine, like in the first episode of An Unearthly Child. It's pretty mysterious with her, and some of the camera work and Carolyn's acting is really neat there. And then I actually like that she gets some stuff to do in the Sensorites. I know the Sensorites is not the most well-regarded story. I enjoyed it. But Susan actually does get a few things to do in there, which I like. But most of the time, she's running, screaming, and hurting her ankle. Even in the 5 Doctors, when she came back, she hurt her ankle. I'm like, and Jake says, I rate Susan very highly. Oh, I love the whole granddaughter granddad dynamic and her having to go around with her teachers for cool. That idea in concept is great. I like that, but just Susan as a character is very undervalued. Carol Ann Ford agrees. That's why she left the show, is they didn't do anything with her character. What's up, Shamrock? How you doing, buddy? It's good to see you. But, you know, like in Dalek's Master Plan, when she tries to climb up the, not Dalek's Master Plan, but Dalek's Invasion of Earth, and then she falls down, and she's like, oh, my ankle again. She must have the weakest ankles. Susan's standout story with Planet of Giants, which says a lot. Shamrock says, likewise, doing great. How are you? I am good. Aside from, they're supposed to be doing some renovation work over here in the apartment, so I've got everything behind me cleared off, and they're taking forever to do it. First, they're like, we have to do it immediately. We can't wait. We have contracts. And then they're like, we're going to delay it a week and a half. American efficiency at its best. But other than that, I am doing well. But yeah, I just don't get into Susan. Again, she seems two-dimensional. I get she's supposed to be kind of the character, yeah, I love me some good root beer. I knew this could be a long one, so I went ahead and I have a bottle of water and some drinks here. I love me some A&W. Feel free to send some A&W. I love A&W. But yeah, Susan just, I get she's supposed to be kind of the audience's point of view character, but they don't do much with her. Luckily, we have Barbara to have, a strong female lead in Barbara, which I'll get to when I get to Barbara. But just Susan's just disappointing. And obviously, Carol Ann Ford agreed. She just kind of screams a lot and hurts her ankle. Number 52 on the list is Osgood. I like Osgood, but too much of Osgood is not a good thing for me. Like, I loved her in Day of the Doctor. I loved her in whatever the one where she originally got killed was. That was pretty cool. But then they kind of brought her back with the Saigon thing. And I don't know. Like, the actress playing her is great. I know she's a comedian. And I love the fact she's a giant Doctor fanboy, like a lot of us are. Kind of like Malcolm. I can't remember if I have Malcolm on the list. I might not have put Malcolm on the list just because he's only in the one episode. Yeah, Oz not good. What's up, Tedious? How you doing? Tedious Milkshake. I will never get over how much I love that name, Tedious Milkshake. Jake says, I always found Osgood so annoying. Tedious. Oh, what a nice surprise. I thought this was a premium. Very happy to find out it's a stream. No, it's a stream. I like to do live streams. I haven't done a lot, so I like doing them. And it's kind of a 1,000 subscribers celebration video. Osgood ruffles my feathers, not feeling it. Yes, Shamrock agrees. I liked Osgood like in her first couple stories, but to me that was kind of played out. Plus the whole thing of her dying was pretty interesting. That was some neat character development and how the Doctor reacted to it, and it was a shock moment. So it kind of lost me when they brought her back. Modern Who can be too comical at times. Because it was unnecessary and they didn't need to do it. She just kind of falls out. I don't think I have Malcolm on the list because he doesn't really interact with the Doctor much, even though I did love Malcolm as well. Number 51 on the list might get some people unhappy with me. Number 51 on the list, because it is a character. I like Richard. I think Richard is a great actor, but I just never got into Captain Yates. I'm just not a Captain Yates fan. He's cool. He gets some good scenes. And what they do with him in Invasion of the Dinosaurs is a nice twist you don't see coming. I think that was very clever, especially for the time. And him getting a little bit of a redemption in Invasion of the Planet of the Spiders is nice. It wasn't too bad in the Davis era, but Matt Smith joined. Yeah. Even Jake says, yeah, Yates is just kind of there. That's a good way to put that, too. Yates is just kind of there in some stories. Now, there are some he gets some stuff to do, but sometimes he's just kind of there. I never really got into Captain Yates like I did a lot of the rest of the unit family from the Pertwee era. He's some good eye candy to counter Joe with. That's very possible, I guess. I didn't think of that, but I guess that's possible. You tell me, Shamrock, do you consider Mike Yates to be some eye candy? They were supposed to be an idol. I remember that. There's always talks of them either going on dates or supposed to go on dates. Sutter popped away for a minute to watch the trailer. Shamrock's drooling because I know Shamrock likes guys. He's talked about that before on the channel. Yates always gets into trouble, and that's not something I care for. A fellow YouTuber said in Invasion of the Dinosaurs, "You will never get me interested in Yates. Stop trying to make him interesting." That's true. The YouTuber who said that, that's exactly right. Yeah, I remember you mentioned that before, Shamrock. Planet of the Dinosaurs also ruins Yates for me. The Character Workshop. How you doing? Hello? Says, I think before being a unit guy, he was considered to be a regular companion like Ian or Harry. And like Tarzan, I swing both ways. Shamrock says, like Tarzan, I swing both ways. That's hilarious. TDS says, Planet of the Dinosaurs doesn't exist. Invasion of the Dinosaurs. They need to do an episode now called Planet of the Dinosaurs. Sounds cool, though. It does sound cool, though, Planet of the Dinosaurs. I would watch that episode. But yeah, I just don't get into Yates. Does Yates actually die in Planet of the Spiders, or did he just get hurt? Remember, like that one part right at the end when he takes that electrical blast for somebody else and falls over? I can't remember if he actually dies or if he just gets incapacitated and he shows up okay later. It's been so long since I watched Planet of the Spiders that I don't remember if Yates dies in it or not. Someone will have to tell me. Pertwee Smith crossover. Invasion of the Dinosaurs on a spaceship. That would be a story that's half good and half not. Would be chaos. I don't know. Lord knows what the third Doctor would think of the 11th. So next on the list in number 50 is Perry, actually. Again, I never felt like Nicola got a lot of character development. Also, her American accent is... I like season 22 a lot. Season 22 is vastly underrated. It's such a good season. But Perry, again, I never really clicked with her. I have seen none of Perry's stories. Don't hate me, please. That's all right. You're missing out, though. Season 22 is fantastic. I love Perry for two very, very good reasons. Are those the same reasons that was upstaging Peter Davison during his regeneration sequence? Can you quickly list everyone we have so far? Yes, we can, actually. In last, we had Chameleon, and then Dodo, and then Vendor, and then Mel, and then Clara with Capaldi. Clara's on the list twice. And then Susan, and then Osgood, and then Yates, and we are at Perry. Is one of those reasons botany? Oh, we have fun in the chat. You're very welcome. That's why I like the live chats. They're fun. I feel like she doesn't get a lot of character development. And she's also the only companion I can think of the Doctor nearly strangles. Ooh, Twin Dilemma has so much bad going on in it. I can enjoy it. I think it's a little underrated, but it has so much bad going on in it. Just Perry's not a companion I want to go back to often. When I go back to season 22, it's because I want to watch the stories, not because I want to see the companion. I just don't really get into her. Playing says, I think Perry would have been good if Davison had stayed on. I did like her with Davison, come to think. They had good chemistry, but with Colin, she was basically wasted. Hey, Shamrock looked like he joined the YouTube channel. Thank you. I appreciate that, Shamrock. I know you've been watching me for a long time, so I certainly appreciate that. Thank you. Tedious says, I have seen none of season 22 because I'm currently on 17. I love season 17. So underrated. Sutter says, I like Barry, always abreast of the situation. Thanks, Sham. I really appreciate that. That means a lot. Yeah, I think I finally got the monetization turned on and everything too for the ads. So I think y'all can do like super chats and super likes and super thanks or stuff like that. I don't know how all that works. I'm not a techno guy, but apparently y'all can do like the little one-time things. If y'all ever want to do that during a live stream or a video or something, feel free. Tedia says, I'm procrastinating on Nightmare of Eden because I watched part 1 and it absorbed my life force. Nightmare of Eden, watch it with the updated effects. If you're watching it on the box set, if you have the season 17 box set, turn on the updated effects. It's actually not bad if you can get past the guy with the weird German accent. Oh, wait, is Handles on the list? I don't think I put Handles on the list. But that's only because I didn't think to put Handles on the list. Because Handles, if you think about it, is probably the Doctor's longest serving companion. I mean, he's with him for like hundreds of years, if you think about it. We just don't see it. I don't have the box set, but I think I'm getting it for Christmas. Yeah, Nightmare of Eden is probably a little more tolerable with the updated effects. They look good. I don't think I thought to put Handles on the list. I wish I'd done that. That's a good one. Where were we? Next on the list, and this one could also get me in trouble because we're coming from the vaunted Troughton era, is Victoria. I don't really care for Victoria. You guys may have noticed I don't really care for the Screamers. Don't get me wrong. Screamers can be a great thing in the right time and place. But in Doctor Who, I don't care for the Screamers. Tedious points out, but I've got season 20. And he's smirking at me because he probably knows I haven't gotten my season 20 yet. My season 20 is in customs. It shipped out Monday, and it's in customs. It is taking it forever to get here. Tedious says, what? What did you just say? I love Victoria. I always thought she was one of the best. I like Victoria. See, I never get Victoria because Victoria never wants to be there. As a character, Victoria doesn't want to. Deborah's great. Let me be clear. I like Deborah a lot. Oh, she is stunning. I mean, she looks stunning and her acting is stunning. But keep in mind, Victoria ended up traveling with them because her dad died. She's kind of a reluctant companion. A lot of Screamers aren't my thing on screen either. Victoria was well acted, but could have been allowed to grow like Jamie. And that's it. Victoria never really seems to grow much for me. She just kind of seems plucked into this situation that she kind of got dropped into without necessarily ever wanting to be there. And yes, she has that scream. She definitely has that scream. Now, I do love in her final story that they actually do stuff with her, that they actually build to her leaving. You can see Victoria wanting to leave throughout Fury from the Deep. That's done well. And the fact her scream is actually what scares the creatures off is fantastic, let's be honest. Let's see what everybody's saying. She doesn't scream that much. She screams enough. All right, the Victoria and the Doctor have a good dynamic. Do they really? I mean, I love his speech with her in Tomb of the Cybermen, of course. It forces two to step up to the situation of having her around. Screams are not often, but they're memorable. It could just be me remembering her screaming more. Victoria and the Doctor's conversation in Tomb. Yes, it is. That is a beautiful scene. That you guys have season 20 problems. I'm still waiting on the season 17 standard edition. Just import. I'm an American. I'm in the States. I import. And it's almost the same cost. She is only seen as a screamer because of the Ice Warriors of Fury from the Deep. That's probably it. I think that's actually a lot of where it comes from me is the Ice Warriors. I'm not a huge fan of the Ice Warriors story. It's okay. It drags. But Victoria is useless in the Ice Warriors. That's probably one of the reasons she's ranked so low. She is utterly useless in the Ice Warriors. Utterly. I just don't really get into her as a character. And I knew this one could get me in trouble. Next on the list in 48th place is Adric. That's right. Adric higher than Victoria. Adric I like with Tom. I actually think Alistair's just no. He says Adric is so high on my list, laughing. Adric to me is fine with Tom. I mean, he does kind of fall for the vampire's plan a little too easy in State of Decay, to where someone else mentioned this in one of their reviews recently. I can't remember who it was. talked about how they thought he was just toying with them, but no, he'd actually been pulled in by what they were doing. But I don't actually mind Adric with Tom. It's when he's with the Fifth Doctor, when he's with Davison, I find Adric just gets annoying. Like when he gets sucked in Ford of Doomsday. Actually, I think that's what it was. Somebody reviewing Ford of Doomsday, and he got sucked into that. He, for someone who's a genius, he's a bit naive. I mean, let's be honest. Aren't there some of you that are one of the reasons you like Earthshock is that Adric dies in it? Isn't that one of the good things about Earthshock? How dare you put Victoria worse than Adric? I know. Tedia says they haven't announced the season 17 standard yet. No, they haven't. They still haven't. Several of us on the merchandise forum keep up with that, and they have not. Are we talking about Adric now? We are. Wait, you want Victoria on top? Sure. No, really, like Adric is higher than Nissa and Tegan for Alisticious. Oh, I couldn't do that. Everyone talks about Adric like he was manning with Davison, but he was only there for like half of the run. Yeah, I mean, think about it. He's only with Davison for part of a season 19. He spends half of the season with Tom as well. And I actually, again, I like Adric with Tom. I just didn't like him with Davison. And Matthew's acting was okay. I mean, it wasn't stellar, but it was okay. Exactly, Tedious. It is close to like a 50-50% split between them. It really is. Number 47 on the list is Dan from the Whitaker era. And this, to me, just falls down to John Bishop being wasted. He's utterly wasted. I've heard John Bishop is a great companion, or a great actor, a comedian. I believe he's a comedian. I'm not really familiar with him. Again, American, so I don't know all these British people. But I've heard John Bishop's a great comedian. But Dan just feels wasted. It's like he was brought in, and then COVID happened, and then Flux got cut down from 10 to 8 to 6, and then there were the specials. It just never felt like he got formed much. I love what they did with him. I believe Dan was named after me because I am so awesome. So they did not decide to name a companion after me, and they wasted him. They wasted him. I like John Bishop playing him, and I love the kind of dynamic between him and the girl that he likes that kind of likes him. There's obviously the little rapport there. I feel like that didn't get fleshed out the way it could have. I really don't have a lot to say about Dan. He just feels wasted as a character, and that's sad because I think John played him well. Number 44, 45, and 46. I'm just going to list them together. This happens a couple times where people who were thought of together kind of get listed right with each other. Oh, no, kind of scary. I want to go home now. Hey, if I'd almost died like that, I'd want to leave too. But 40, where are my numbers? 45, 46, and 47 are all Madame Vastra, Ginny, and Strax. So the Potstanatter gang or whatever they are. They are okay. They showed up a little too often. Strax is such a mixed bag with me because Dan plays Strax so well. Strax by himself in a bubble is hilarious. But when you look at the domino effect of what he does to the Sontarans as a whole, it's very frustrating. Because the Sontarans, of course, are a huge enemy in the classic series, and they get made kind of comic relief in the modern series. Strax is a win, but kind of retcons what we know about Sontarans. That's the problem. Is he makes Sontarans look like a joke, but just on his own in a bubble, I think he's funny because the actor playing him is good. There's actually the little prequel to, I think it's the Snowmen. They did those little mini episodes before episodes at the time. And it's basically the Potstanatter gang trying to cheer up the Doctor, and he's basically telling him he's retired. He wants him to go away. And Strax is like, they're giving him things to do, and Strax is like, I have declared war on the moon. Moon. That's actually pretty funny. It's actually hilarious. Thomas is such a dumb joke. I like Moffat, but Moffat strikes again. I'll give Chibnall that. He at least tried to make the Sontarans more threatening again when he brought them back in Flux. War of the Sontarans is actually not a bad episode by any means. It being tied in with Flux hurts it, but I'll actually give Chris Chibnall some credit there. Doctor Who got bad with Moffat. Moffat did some interesting things, but yeah, I don't agree with a lot of the stuff he did. He works way better as someone just writing an individual story with someone else as a showrunner. It was good until series 6. I agree. Completely agree. I like Jenny a lot. She was good. The actress playing her is good. I love that scene in the Crimson Horror when she's stripping down to fight, and the doctor's like holding his sonic screwdriver as he's watching her, and the sonic screwdriver's like, and he looks at it, he's like, and he looks at her again, it's like, that's hilarious. That's the little innuendo there. I didn't even catch that the first time I watched it, but I absolutely love the innuendo there. Yeah, Jenny's my favorite of 3. I do like Jenny a lot. The Madame Vastra bit is just, okay, there's a lizard lady there. Somebody would have noticed at some point. Somebody would have noticed at some point. Somebody would have made a note of that. Of course, somebody would have made a note of a T-Rex running around too, but I don't know. Willing suspension of disbelief. The actress who plays Vastra is good. I don't really care about Madame Vastra as a character, but the actress playing her good. Yeah, I do think that Jenny and Vastra's relationship is kind of weird. But hey, I'm not lizard shaming here, Tedious. I'm not lizard shaming. Interspecies relationships, I am not shaming anyone. Vastra and Jenny can do what they like. They're grown, consenting adults. Well, next on the list is Ryan from the Whittaker era. Ryan him and Graham get a little bit of character development where they grow, where they bond a little bit. Ryan has that kind of deja-phoria thing with the balance. Every now and then when he remembers he's supposed to have it, other times it's not there. I think Tossin, is that his name? The actor playing Ryan is fine. I felt like, once again, the Whittaker era here suffers from the same thing the Davison era did, and that's just having too many people. Like, it worked in 60s Who because TV was slower then, more episodes. I mean, you've seen those first Doctor stories. They move at a much slower pace. That's just how television was then. Even by the 80s, that didn't work. Television moved faster, plots moved faster, and especially by Whittaker's time, it just did not work. It just did not work. You put Ryan higher than Victoria? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Remember, I said he also has dysphagia. Is that what it is? But in the next episode, that's great balance. That's what I was talking about before. He has it when he remembers he has it. I have all 3 of Whittaker's first companions toward the bottom. I just never had fun watching them. Again, I think all of them could have had time to shine if they weren't in a crowded TARDIS. Funny on how season 19, there was a documentary about the crowded TARDIS. I've seen that, actually. I do love the behind the scenes stuff on the box sets. But that's just kind of where Ryan falls. Now, I do like the stuff kind of going on with the problems with him and his dad that get addressed in a couple issues. That was pretty nice. But yeah, Ryan just kind of falls here. I don't think he's necessarily bad. I just think he never got the character development he needed. And next on the list in 42 is Yaz. Yaz, before she became Lovesick Puppy Yaz, was a little more interesting. She didn't get a lot of development in Series 11, but she has these occasional moments, like I actually like in the Subaru car conundrum or whatever it is, when the doctor is explaining about how the engines work, and Yaz just kind of has this look on her face like, we get it. We get it. And the doctor's like, yeah, I'm going on. And then Yaz's like, yeah, we get it. Because I'm sitting here watching the episode going, we get it. So it's nice to have someone there going, we get it. And then there are actually times there when Yaz was questioning the doctor in that episode because she hasn't been written into Lovesick Puppy Yaz. And I think Mandip is doing fine as an actress. Once again, Yaz didn't get fleshed out. She got a little more to do in Series 12. I love when everybody's waiting to go through the portal and she just walks through it. I love that she's smart enough to pretty much figure out how to pilot a TARDIS. Some people might get mad at that, but if you see all the notes she makes, she is a little obsessed with the doctor at that point. That's just kind of, yeah, they never really did anything until Flux. Yeah, I agree, Jake. I kind of like Yaz, all things considered, overall. She feels like she has heart. And then, especially in Can You Hear Me, when you kind of find out her backstory, when she tried to kind of run away, that was some good character development with her I really liked. Again, I think if it had just been her and Whittaker on their own a bit, and they'd cut out the Lovesick Puppy Yaz stuff, that felt very, very forced. Let's be honest. I know some people, especially from the LGBTQ community, might want to champion that, but it did feel rushed. It was kind of done at the 11th hour. I did a whole video talking about that, where I don't think it's the fist punch in the air they think it is, because it felt very rushed and not fleshed out. Like they did it just so they could say they did it and treat it like some kind of victory that they did it, but they didn't really do it. Jodie's acting in Legend of the Sea Devils was laughably bad. That's stupid. I'm in love with the Dr. Crap again, and they didn't even follow through. Yeah, just trying to rile up on the... Exactly. It felt like they were pandering. I'm all about diversity and equality, but I do have issues with pandering. I have strong issues with pandering. Doing representation just for representation's sake is not good representation. Exactly. And that's exactly what the whole Yaz and the 13th Doctor thing felt like, honestly. That's actually a really good way to put it, Alisticious. And that's just kind of where Yaz falls. Number 41 on the list is River's Song. I never felt like River lived up to her potential, or lived up to what the Silence in the Library two-parter set up. Alex Kingston is always good in the role. It feels like she gets a little tropey, like she's kind of one note at times. I tend to like when she shows up, but I just never feel like, it is so hot. I never feel like I completely buy her and the Doctor's relationship. I loved her in the Silence in the Library two-parter. And I even like her in most of her appearances, including in The Husbands of River Song. I think her and Capaldi have really good chemistry together. I just like when she shows up. But yeah, I felt like River never lived up to her potential. Does that make sense? She's fine, and Alex is putting in a good performance. Jake says, I was never a fan of River. I liked her in Series 4, and she was okay at times in 6. Also, I did not like the age gap between her and Matt Smith. So that never really bothered me. If it was the other way around, then Twitter would have been angry, I'm sure. She always tended to have good chemistry with her doctors. I don't know. I got tired of seeing River. Does that make sense? I kind of wish that she hadn't showed up. Every time I saw her, I kept thinking it was the last time I was going to see her, and then she'd show up again. So I'm kind of happy that, at least for now, it looks like Husbands of River Song has kind of put a bow on that. Number 40 on the list is Astrid from Voyage of the Damned, and I'm not certain why I have her so high looking at this now. Yeah, she was good in Husbands. River was good in Husbands, Alisticious. Astrid, I don't know why I have her this high, actually. I'm thinking about that now. I like her in Voyage of the Damned. Astrid doesn't count as a companion. Yeah, I count her. Her and Ken have chemistry. And she is kind of the pseudo companion for this special, let's be honest. I love the fact she does sacrifice herself. And that's kind of the great thing about having this one-off companion like her, is she can sacrifice herself. I love that she does that. Watching Tennant kind of turn into angry Tennant trying to save her is a cool moment. Because I do love Tennant sometimes when he gets mad, like that bit when he's trying to save her and the doctor's like, you can't do it. And he gets mad and he kicks the thing. And he's like, I can do anything. I love that. I enjoy that. That's some good acting from Tennant. I don't like his speech at the end when he does she could float among the stars. That's pitiful. Tennant's performance of it's fine, but the actual speech is garbage. Or, Duggan. I don't remember if I put Duggan on the list. I might have put Duggan on the list. We'll see. I do love Duggan a lot, so I should put Duggan on the list. Jake says, yeah, I like Astrid. She is good. That's like saying Samantha from Faceless Ones is a companion. Yeah, but you see, in Faceless Ones, there actually are companions. And in Voyage of the Damned, there is no other companion. She is supposed to basically be the pseudo-companion for the story. I really wish Duggan stayed a companion, actually. Yes, I have a video coming about that, actually. It's already on the Patreon. They have early access. They've already got it. You guys will be getting it, where I talk about 3 one-off companions that would have made great permanent companions, and Duggan is one of them. I love Duggan. But, yeah, I liked Astrid. Again, Kylie does a really good job. I think it was Kylie that played her in that one. Does a really good job playing her. I really kind of connected with her as a character. And for me to connect with a character like that when they're only in one story, I think that means they're well performed and well written. Whereas some of the other ones we've talked about are in several stories, and I never connected with them. So she kind of has to be this high, I guess, for that. That was the most important punch in human history. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Number 39 on the list, and I hate to have her this low, is poor Nyssa. And again, this comes down to strictly character development. Nyssa never gets stuff to do. Nyssa is kind of the companion of the Davison era that gets left in the TARDIS or in Kinda when she's sick. Poor Nyssa does not. Kylie is not very well known. I know she's a popular singer, but I don't think she's that popular here to my knowledge. But again, you're talking to a guy who's in his 40s, so I don't know how she is with the younger crowd. Never seen a story with Nyssa. Nyssa is just underused. She's underrated. She doesn't get enough to do. Sarah is fine as Nyssa, especially in Terminus. And that could be down to that awesome director. Sarah's great as Nyssa, but she never gets much to do. One of the reasons I like Arc of Infinity is a very underrated story, is that Nyssa gets stuff to do. I like Nyssa. I like her character. I don't like the fact that they don't explore the stuff they could have between her and the Master, since, the Master is running around in what's basically the corpse of her father. There's so much you could have done with that, since every time she sees the Master, she'd be seeing her dead dad, and they don't. And that's such a missed opportunity. Black Orchid. Yeah, it does use Nyssa a bit in Black Orchid, but I never liked the trope of, oh, look, there's someone who looks just like one of the main characters. I have the same problem with the Enemy of the World. It only really works for me in Megalos because it's part of the plot. Outside of Orca, Nyssa is dead weight. Now, she's good in Arc of Infinity. She gets stuff to do in Arc of Infinity. Have we spoken about Sarah Kingdom or Katarina yet? No, because I don't have them on this list. I've never seen Dalek's Master Plan, so they are not on the list. A huge shame how the whole Master taking over her dad thing was dropped after Castroval. Exactly. Since they didn't bring it up in Time Flight. Exactly. Oh, and I guess Arc. Yes, Arc of Infinity. She has stuff to do. T says, what? Yeah. Oh, great. Megalos, my second least favorite Tom Baker story. I love Megalos. Megalos needed to be longer. That should have been a 5 or 6-parter. I love Megalos. What? No. Yeah, Nyssa is Nissa's just underused. I like Nyssa as a character. She's only this low because she doesn't get a lot of standout moments. She really doesn't, unfortunately. Next on the list, sticking with the Davison era. What did you say about Enemy of the World or the Massacre? Trophy. Here's the villain of the story who just happens to look just like the Doctor. My willing suspension of disbelief goes, That's right. Those are 2 of my favorite stories ever. That's all right. My opinion of them doesn't invalidate your opinion of them. It's okay. It's okay. Tom Baker is a cactus. Who could hate that? I'm surprised Tom agreed to that. You would think Tom Baker, being Tom Baker, would not want to put on that cactus makeup. But apparently he did. Stop being wrong. I've never started being wrong. I can't stop if I've never started. It works brilliantly in Enemy. Enemy's a good episode. A lot of that's just down to Troughton's performance. The fact Troughton is basically playing 4 different people. He's playing the Doctor, he's playing Salamander, he's playing the Doctor pretending to be Salamander, which is different, and he's playing Salamander pretending to be the Doctor, which is also different. And that's interesting to me. Megalos is awesome, Alisticious. Megalos is awesome. You should rewatch. Yes, you should. It is awesome. I love Megalos. Not the best in the world, not a classic, but it's awesome. I still like it. Yeah, Troughton sells Enemy of the World. That's why it works, is because of Troughton. But where were we? Turlo. Yeah, we were talking about Turlo. I like Turlo. Turlo's one of the companions I really have memory of because of that red hair. He was the main male companion when I was a kid that I remembered. So he kind of gets points for that. I love the fact that he's kind of a devious character. The Doctor doesn't really get those kind of devious characters a lot. So, but you can definitely tell there are times when Turlo is just kind of out for himself. I mean, his first 3 stories in the Black Guardian trilogy, he is kind of working with the Black Guardian, reluctantly, but working with him. But you can tell Turlo has a good heart, though, because he doesn't kill the Doctor. I mean, he could have killed the Doctor and fulfilled his pact with the Black Guardian and went on his way, but he doesn't. So you can tell he's a good guy deep down. And Undead, he's quite good. I'm intrigued to see what happens next. No. I do like Turlo a lot, though. I do like Turlo. No, hey, I like Enemy of the World tedious. I do. I get annoyed by the tropey stuff. Enemy of the World is overrated, but to be fair, all of season 5 is overrated. Tomb of the Cybermen is overrated while still being good. Fury from the Deep is overrated while still being good. Tedious says, Turlo, I have his intro story on Blu-ray. I wonder if you do as well. That's cruel, sir. That's cruel. I do have it on DVD, though. I actually have the Black Guardian trilogy. He's mocking me for not having my copy of season 20 yet. That's cruel, sir. Cruel. I think season 5 is rated just right. Whatever. Season 5 is great. It's Troughton, and I love Troughton. He's my second favorite Doctor. But I find almost every story to be slightly overrated. Season 5 is my least favorite Troughton season. I prefer 4 and 6. Shamrock's like, wow. The chat, it gets interesting in the chat, doesn't it? But yeah, I like Turlo. I think he has a really good exit in Planet of Fire. He gets a lot of good backstory in his final story. He gets some nice character development in what was it? Frontios with the Tractators. He gets some good character development in that too. When we find out his people have like a built-in fear of the Tractators because his people have ran into him before, like when he's on the ground just foaming at the mouth. Season 6 is the worst Troughton season, but it's still amazing. I disagree. Aside from the Dominators. The Dominators is pretty bad. I think the rest of it's really good. Croton's very underrated. The Invasion is amazing. There's not a single story in season 5 better than the Invasion. The Invasion's fantastic. War Games is great. Space Pirates just suffers from being missing. But the novel of Space Pirates is a great read. Yeah, I love season 4. I do love season 4. It ranked really high when I ranked all the seasons. It was in like the top 5, I think. Really, really good. Turlo works in his first and last stories, but I don't like him anything else. Again, I think he's good in Frontios because we get some character development with him. And again, keep in mind, Turlo's first story is kind of the whole Black Guardian trilogy with Terminus and Enlightenment. And I think Mark does a good job playing him. I'm always going back and forth between seasons 4 and 5 as my favorite. Dominators is underrated. I like the Dominators, but I don't think it's very good objectively. I love Troughton in it, though. Like when the Dominator runs into him and he's with the Quark, and the Quark's over there, or the Dominator's talking to him. I thought I told you to leave the Quarks alone. Well, I do. Every time I see one, I run away, but they're everywhere. So what am I supposed to do? I love Troughton just lying through his teeth. There's no Doctor that lies the way the second Doctor lies. Yeah, exactly. Like Alisticious says, it's underrated mainly because of Troughton and Hines' performances. Agreed. Which companions are we supposed to be talking about now? Yeah, I knew this was going to be a long video because I tend to get distracted by the chat. Like I said, I hope you brought your popcorn, brought your water bottle, brought your bathroom bottle. We're going to be in for a ride, folks. Okay, we were talking about Turlo. Next on the list at 37 is Mickey Smith. Mickey, I like. I mean, you know, everything going on with Noel Clarke aside, we're not going to deal with that. I like Mickey as a character because Mickey does get character growth over the course of his time in Modern Who. He really does grow as a character, and I like that. Plus, I do think he's performed well. I think he's written well. Russell seems to know how to write people. I did love the fact J&T gave us the answer about the celery. I did enjoy that. I love the part where Mickey blows up the government. Everyone's opinion on Adam from season 1. We'll get to it. Adam is on this list, Unknown. We haven't reached him yet. What's up, Unknown? It's good to see you stopping by. Unknown289, who is one of my patrons and a huge contributor to the forum. He has sent physical things. He has sent me digital things. I have finished my watch through of the the Wrong Doctors, by the way, Unknown. That's coming on the Patreon soon. But we will get to Adam. Adam is rubbish. Series 2, yes, and Series 1, Mickey is a stick figure like Rose. What do you mean Adam is better than Mickey? We'll get to it. Don't rush me. Jake says, just watch the trailer, complete banger. Watch it now. I'm finally pumped. Okay, well, tell you what, I will do a Mickey Smith on your house. Tedious is very aggressive. He's very, very aggressive. Naughties, I mean. I may pop over actually. We're still waiting on somebody to send me a link to the trailer. And I can actually just review it while we're doing it. Frostbiter seems missing. But I like Mickey. I enjoy his growth. I like how much more confident he becomes. I love that he outgrows. I'm not aggressive, just passionate. That seems like something the 12th Doctor would say. It's on BBC channel. Yeah, I'm in the States. I lost my train of thought. It's interesting in the chat, doesn't it? But Mickey grows. I like that he outgrows his need to be tethered to Rose, that he outgrows Rose. I love that. Oh my God, they found the Highlanders Part 2. Is that true? Wait, what? Did they really? Did they really just announce? Am I just hearing live that they announced a missing episode? Are you pulling my leg? Really? No. That's terrible. He's teasing me. Don't do that. Don't do that. Not on live TV. Don't tease me with that. For real? That is cruel. That is cruel. Don't do that. That's mean. Go to your room. That's terrible. Don't do that on a live chat. It's revenge for you being wrong. When have I ever been wrong? I'm glad there's a couple of my exes not here right now. They would have a list. Boy, would they have a list. Don't do that. Yeah, everybody else, don't do that. But yeah, Mickey, I like the fact that he outgrows Rose. We were talking about Mickey, remember? And he doesn't need that. He knows that she's more the Doctor. I'll send it to your most recent YouTube video. I wonder if it's just on YouTube. I could probably find it. Let's look. I haven't seen it just yet. Yeah, I haven't seen it here yet. So it might not have hit YouTube just yet. Probably soon. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I don't see it. Just yet. If it pops up on YouTube, I'll give it a reaction while I'm here. But I'm not seeing it popping up just yet. So back to where I was. There we go. Sent the link. It's on YouTube. Search it. Okay. I would murder to have the Highlanders recovered. Tedious, you better watch out. I hope they find it. Tedious says, I hope they find the space. I would love for them to find the space pirates. The trailer is fire. What box set do you think will come next? I think season 15 or season 3. It comes up first video if you type in Doctor Who's 60th. All right, I'll try that. Unknown knows his stuff. Doctor Who 60th. Okay, here it is. All right. I will react to it. Here we go. Why do they do mini trailers before the actual trailer now? Like a mini trailer for the trailer. Catherine Tate does not look like she's aged much. She has aged really well. It's glorious. Oh, that's so Donna. me some Neil Patrick Harris. That's Donna, isn't it? Hey, all right. That's pretty cool. Okay. All right. I don't have a whole lot of thoughts actually, other than it looks good. Wait, what? Oh, I wonder if it cut off because I was, instead of being on the main screen, I was on the other screen. That's weird if that's the case. The puppet string bit was cool. Can y'all hear me okay now? Can y'all hear me fine? Everything okay? That could be because I could be because I was on the other screen watching the trailer. I do love Donna, and Catherine Tate seems like she hasn't missed a beat on this. She's so good as that character. Donna's my favorite companion. We'll get to Donna on the list. We haven't reached Donna yet. Season 3. I did not say that. No, season 15 or 6. I think season 15 or 6 is coming. No, season 3 will probably be the last season to come out in the box set. Um, oh, I was probably trying to multitask 3 things at once. I'm a stereotypical male. I don't do that well. Neil Patrick Harris is fantastic in this trailer. I love him as an actor in general. Do you think the trailer covers all 3 episodes or just one? I think bits from all 3. That's a lot to cram into just one episode. I figure it covers all 3. I do hope he's the toy maker. It makes sense for him to be the toy maker. I love it. I like the fact we know that Tennant gets to see Kate Stewart. I don't know why, but I like that. So I enjoyed the trailer. It got me excited. Again, it doesn't really give much away, which I like. I never liked how the Moffat era trailers gave stuff away, like Sims returning and all of that. So I kind of like that it's just different stuff. Yeah, I hope it's the toy maker. I want to see the toy maker again. I like the toy maker. But yeah, the trailer looks great. I don't really have a lot of thoughts on it because it is just kind of random shots, other than it looks really, really good. I'm going to turn the AC down a little more because I am absolutely sweating. So yeah, I liked the trailer. It looked good. It's funny it dropped right before I'm going live. I don't like that it gives away that Donna doesn't die from remembering the doctor. I'm curious to see how that's going to go and what Donna's fate is. I kind of have this impression it's not a good fate, so I'm curious to see what's going to happen with that. But yeah, super excited. I mean, they should be starting a couple more months. November, yeah, it's right around the corner. Although to be honest, I may see the 60th special before I get to watch season 20 at the rate my box set's going. Where were we? Next on the list is Graham from the Whitaker era. I like Graham. Part of this is just Bradley Walsh is so good in that role. I think he has a good grandfatherly sense to him, while still having maybe she will go mad and crash a spacecraft into prehistoric Earth. Graham, I like though. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. I enjoy him. Bradley's so good as the character. I feel like of all of 13's companions, he's the one I can connect the most with. Maybe it's just because I'm getting a little older, not his age, a little older. After the episode of BB announced the original Celestial Toymaker episodes have been recovered, that would be great. That would be great. But I just liked him. He was kind of the one person I connected, because I connected with Graham more than I did with 13 even. I liked Graham. He was kind of the heart of Series 11, especially for me. Jake says, I agree. He was the best of the Chibnall era. Dan was a poor copy of him. I don't know if I'd go that far. I just liked Graham. He was the one I connected with. I love that scene when Ryan's dad showed up in Resolution. Graham just opens the door, takes one look at him, and goes, no, slams the door back. I just love the way he does it. No. Unknown says more likely to be an animation of Toymaker, which I would be fine with. I like the Celestial Toymaker. I've seen the Recon and the Surviving Episode 4. I like it. What if they have all of the episodes and are keeping a few 60 of them private for marketing reasons? Shame on them. But yeah, I like Graham. He just kind of falls here for me. Number 35 on the list is Craig. And I have to say it with the exclamation point. I even wrote it with the exclamation point. Craig from The Lodger and Closing Time. I love Craig. Craig's just hilarious. Him and 11 have such good chemistry. Craig's just funny for me in these stories. And you guys can probably tell I'm a sense of humor type person. I love things that make me laugh. And just Closing Time, I think, is pretty good, even if the ending kind of lets it down. We beat him with love, but other than that, it's good up to that. The Lodger is just a lot of fun. And Craig is a relatable guy. I mean, he has a roommate who shows up who excels in things more than he does. And so he's upset that the girl he likes might look at the other guy more than him. I think a lot of that's relatable. That is relatable. That's perfectly relatable. Craig is a severe L. No, I like Craig. I did a ranking super quick, and I have put Donna above Clara, so I lied at the start of the stream. I've rewatched Craig's Series 5 episodes so many times when I was 10. I love The Lodger. It's fun. Again, a lot of it comes down to Matt Smith and the guy who plays Craig. I forget his name. But they're so good together. James Corden, yes. James is so good, and him and Matt have such a good chemistry that they're fun together. Like, Craig wouldn't work with other doctors. Could you imagine him with 12? Or 4? Or 6? But with 11, he works really well. They're hilarious together. I love the scene when they're in the store, and I think it's Closing Time, and the woman thinks they're a couple. And Craig just rolls joking with it. Oh, yeah, I just can't do anything. It's hilarious. I mean, he's this high simply because they're so much fun to watch. Those episodes are funny. They're fun. I like when the Cyberman's trying to attack Craig and the doctor's trying to say, oh, I've got an app for that. They're funny. They're humorous. They're not meant to be taken seriously. Craig with Troughton would be chaos. Yes, that would be funny, actually. That would be very funny. But that's the reason why he's this high. It's just, I love them together. I love him and 11 together. They're so much fun. You can tell I'm having a ball just talking about it. Next on the list in 34th place is Harry Sullivan. I like Ian Martyr as Harry Sullivan. I like the way Harry talks, that posh British. Don't have a row about it now, old girl. I like Harry a lot. I'm glad he didn't stay longer. He's a great addition to the season 12 TARDIS team, but I am glad we got just the Doctor and Sarah for 13 and part of 14. But he is a good addition. Harry Sullivan's kind of forgettable but likable. That's a good way to put that, I guess. Season 18, Tom Baker beating Craig would not have ended well. I don't remember if I put Glitz on here or not, actually. I probably should have, but I honestly don't remember. I don't think I did, but I should have, because I love Glitz. You guys know I love Glitz. But I knew once I started doing the list, there's going to be somebody I forgot. I just knew. It was just bound to happen. Glitz, Solomon Glitz is tedious. He's a character that shows up in the Trial of a Time Lord, and he's also in Dragonfire. He's a fun, kind of lovable rogue type, kind of like Han Solo, I guess. He's a really fun, because the actor who plays him, Tony, plays him so well. He's a lot of So you actually get to see him interact with 2 doctors because he interacts with 6 and 7. Glitch should have been on the list. I don't think I put him on here, but he should have been on the list. He'd be high because I love Glitch. But I like Harry a lot. He's one of the companions I have earliest memories. He's actually probably the first male companion I saw, not Turlo, because one of the first stories I have memories of is the Ark in Space, skipping in Robot. I do love that scene in Robot. That whole first scene. No, doctor, I'm the doctor. You may be a doctor, but I'm the doctor. The definite article, you might say. I do love that scene. That's such a good one. Actually, fair. We talking about Harry? Yeah, I like Harry. Harry is good, but just again, Harry didn't need to be there. It would have been fine with the Doctor and just Sarah. But at the same time, the TARDIS doesn't feel crowded with him being there in season 12. He does get some stuff to do. I actually really like him in Terror of the Zygon when Ian's having to play Harry and the Zygon looking like Harry. Some really good stuff going on there, procrastinating on Nightmare of Eden. But yeah, Harry just kind of falls here. I like him. I also like Nightmare of Eden, Alisticious. I do too, especially with the updated effects. It's not perfect, but I think season 17 is massively underrated in general. Yes, but tedious anti-drug PSAs are a good thing. Number 33 on the list, we finally get to Adam. You guys have been talking about Adam. He's this high. He's number 33 on the list. The actor playing Adam is fine. I don't think he's anything to write home about, but he's fine. The reason why Adam, exactly, season 17 is massively underrated, is this high on the list. Lala Ward is in my top 5 companions. You'll see. I'm losing my train of thought. It's because he's a unique take on a companion. He is a failed companion. We don't see that very often with a companion that's not suited to be a companion. I mean, we kind of saw that with Victoria. That's another story. But I love that Doctor Who took us the time to show a companion that did not want to be. Don't say things like that on Tedious. Don't say things like that. Do not do that. They have not found Web of 3. Stop that. I lost my train of thought. Adam, but I like Adam just because you have a companion that's not suited to be a companion. And it goes to show that not every person can be a companion. And it shows what happens when you pick the wrong person to be a companion. And let's keep in mind, the Doctor did not pick Adam. Rose picked Adam, and then the Doctor just let it slide. That's important to remember, I feel like, here. You put Adam before, yeah, exactly. I like Adam. Adam, again, he's not this high because I think he's a good character. He's this high because he fascinates me as a concept. And that I enjoy a lot. Ooh. That I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry, but that fascinates me that you have a failed companion. Someone is not always suited to be a companion, and that I find that fascinating. That's the reason why he's this high. No, I just put him in timeout for a minute. The stuff that kept popping up kept distracting me, so I put him in timeout for a second. I have nothing against Tedious. He has one of the coolest names I've ever seen. I just had to put him in timeout for a minute, so I could stop getting distracted and get my thoughts out. Nothing against him. I love him. That's a name like that. I can't hate him, but I can't think. I multitask badly. That's on me. I multitask very badly. That's why I always get distracted by the chat. But yeah, that's just kind of where I have Adam and why I have him that high. Is he fascinates me, as a character, as a failed companion. Next on the list in 32nd place, I am still burning up. is Kate Stewart. Kate is a great companion. Kate is a great companion when she's not constantly trying to remind you that she's the Brigadier's daughter. Like, it was cool when they did it at first. Like, in her first appearance in The Power of Three, she's one of the best parts of the episode. And she, when you realize that's the Brigadier's daughter, that's pretty cool. And a couple times when it mentions it, it's fine, but it happens a lot. It happens a lot. I'm the Brigadier's daughter. We know you're the Brigadier's daughter. I'm not a fan of Kate. There's something that doesn't click for me. She just gets tedious after a while. I feel like she needs to step out of the Brigadier's shadow and be her own person. And I hope we get more of that. When she's not reminding you she's the Brigadier's daughter, she's fine. She's a great leader for unit. Gemma does a great job playing her. And I like that it's kind of a way of making, downtime canon? Because I believe the character of Kate Lethbridge Stewart was introduced in Downtime, wasn't it? With the Brigadier, of course, in that story, even though she's called Kate Lethbridge Stewart there. I have never read that comic with Adam. I know about it when he's the main villain in it, but I've never actually read it, although I've heard it's pretty good. My mind went kind of blank. I'm going to turn the air down a little more. I'm sweating. I'm so sweating. Okay, that's a little better. But I like Kate, and I'm glad that Unit has a strong leader. I'm happy with Kate coming back in the 60th, as we just saw in the trailer that we watched. But yeah, they mentioned her being the Brigadier's daughter a little too much. Next on the list in 31st place is Bill Potts. I like Bill. Bill, I feel like, is a way better companion for 12 than Clara. She was either introduced in Downtime or the Brigadier Lethbridge Stewart novel series, which I've also never read. But I like Bill. I think Pro Mackey is good as Bill. I enjoy everything going on with Bill. Set my notepad down here. I like her. I think she's spunky, plucky. She's got a free spirit. She likes to do stuff. Her and 12 go good together. They're a lot of fun. I actually really like Bill with the 12th Doctor. They go off each other really well, especially in Knock Knock, because I like Knock Knock a lot. When he's like pretending to be her granddad, and anytime they talk in Knock Knock, it's so much fun. They just have a really good dynamic. Bill's a fun character. Bill's one of the few times where like a companion died, but I'm still glad she kind of came back and got her happy ending. It's a little tropey at this point, but I'm glad she got it because I like Bill. She's a lot of fun. Next on the list in 29th and 30th is Amy and Rory, which I know Stephen wouldn't like because Stephen does not like Rory. I enjoy Amy and Rory. I think they're fine. I think they're fun. I think Karen Gillan is a great actor. I think Arthur is a great actor. They have good chemistry together. The kind of triangle thing going on between them and the Doctor, which is totally one-sided on Amy's part. I don't actually mind it because it's not the Doctor having those kind of thoughts. It's just her having those thoughts for the Doctor. It makes for some funny moments. Like at the beginning of Jake says, I still need to watch the majority of Series 10, the only New Who episodes I haven't seen. Series 10's good. Series 10's really good, actually, for the most part. The Monk trilogy sucks, but for the most part, it's pretty good. Jake says he loves Rory, but Matt on Amy. Guys, y'all can talk in the chat. He's back. Hello, Tedious. It's good to see you back, buddy. I can't be unhappy with somebody with a cool name that high. It's okay, man. You have such a cool name. I can forgive anything. I love that name. He lives up to that name sometimes, but that's a cool name. Yeah, Tedious lives up to his name. You know what? I know what, who, when, where, why, who. I think the first two parts of the Monk trilogy are different, but the third ruins it. I like Extremis. I think Extremis is good, but I don't like the other two parts. Extremis is really fun. Matter of fact, that hasn't aired yet. I do have a video ranking the 12th Doctor era coming. I keep forgetting. It's been filmed. It just hasn't aired yet. But it's coming. And Extremis is higher, considerably higher than the other two. She had a camera back in the 60s. I did not have a camera back in the 60s. But I wasn't around back in the 60s, so that makes sense. The power of the Daleks offered. Stop that. I'll put you in your room again. Where was I? Amy and Roy. I like Amy and Roy. I love the scene when the Doctor pops up out of the cake. At Rory's bachelor party. He's like, we have to talk. Your girlfriend kissed me last night. And Roy's like, oh, no, it's okay. She's a great kisser. He's like, you know, that you ever said something that sounds better in your head? There's some really humorous moments between them. I love in The Vampires of Venice when Rory is talking, what's up, Phil? How you doing, buddy? Doing well. How you doing? I like when Rory pulls out the UV thing. Well, they're vampires. We got to use this UV light. The Doctor pulls out that big wand. Rory's like, yours is bigger. And the Doctor's just like, let's not go there. I love when him and Rory have those playful moments. Or like when Rory first comes back as the Centurion and the Doctor says something, he ducks back down. He's like, Rory, yeah? You're dead. Yeah, I know. There's a lot of that in there that I find absolutely fun. It's really good. Amy's good. The problem with Amy and Rory is that they stayed too long. They stayed absolutely too long. I think, and there's a couple times they left, and then the Doctor went back. And that was unnecessary. They should have left at the end of Series 6. Because the first half of Series 7 really just feels like an extension of Series 6, with the second half of Series 7 just feeling like Series 7. And that's honestly what they should have done. Yes, it's good to have you here, Philip. It's good to have you here. I always appreciate when you swing by the channel. We're having fun ranking some companions, celebrating 1,000 subs. But yeah, I like Amy and Rory. I just think they stayed too long. Number 27 and 28 is Ben and Polly. I do like Ben and Polly a lot. I tend to think of them as a couple together since they arrived together and they left together. I think their personalities contrast each other really well, especially with Ben's kind of attitude of, I don't want to go out there. There's dangerous out there. Why are we going out there? Doctor, why are we doing this? This is Michael Craze. I love Michael Craze's Ben so much. He's just so good in that role. But I like Polly as well. They're the ultimate when it comes to the shipping. Yep. Pollen. Back when during lockdown, when they were doing the Twitter marathons, everybody was calling Ben and Polly Pollen, I believe it was. But definitely my least favorite Troughton companions. That's understandable. But I like Ben and Polly. Polly, I love that she's the one in the moon base who figured out to use the little spray bottles on the Cybermen to corrode their stuff. And that was pretty cool. Underrated companions. Yeah, Ben and Polly are a little undershadowed, aren't they? They are a little overshadowed, by some of the other Troughton companions, because Troughton just has so many good companions. I will admit, I am looking for it. I'm double checking the chat so I get distracted. Too many Yeah, that's true. Ben and Polly's only complete story is the War Machines. That's their only complete story, actually, with surviving episodes, is the War Machines, sadly. They're hit really hard. Pollen, because she gets up your nose. Yeah, everybody was shipping them, calling them Pollen, which I liked. But I like Ben and Polly. They're a lot of fun. Number 26 is Stephen Taylor. And I haven't seen much of Stephen, but what I've seen of Stephen, I like. That's why I ranked this high. He does strike me as that kind of alpha male, get it done, take care of business type character. A good replacement for Ian, actually. And what I've seen of him, I really liked. I mean, he's not used very well in the Gunfighters, but other than that, I think he's used really well. And I think Peter Purvis is actually doing a pretty good job playing them. That's all right. No worries, playing. No worries. This is a long one. I figured people might have to dip out for stuff. Steven in the Time Meddler is fantastic. What do you think it is? A helmet for a cow? Space Viking helmet for a cow? I love Hartnell in that. I like Steven even in The Chase. I think Steven is great even in The Chase when he first shows up. He's got some humorous lines, but I like him. He just kind of falls here. Number 25 on the list. Have I watched The Recon of the Massacre? Not yet, because The Recon of the Massacre, from what I understand, is a hard going. So I have not yet. Alisticious says he's one of the more forgettable First Doctor companions personally. Could be just because the First Doctor has some great companions. He really does. Number 25 on the list is Grace from the TV movie. Daphne does a great job playing Grace. It's kind of nice to see the Doctor have a semi-romantic interest for the first time, really. This is kind of where it all starts with a little kiss at the end. I know some people don't like that, but I thought Paul McGann and Daphne have really good chemistry, I think. I did like the Mythmakers, Alice. Oh. Hang on a second. My best friend is actually calling. What's up, dude? I am right in the middle of a live stream, actually, at the moment. What you up to? You want me to give you a call back when I get finished? You doing anything interesting? All right. Yeah, I'll give you a call back when I finish up. All right. I'll talk to you later. That's my best friend, the one with the 4 kids. We've been friends. As a matter of fact, I was joking with his wife recently. You realize your husband and I are celebrating our 25th anniversary. We've been friends since 1998. Good choice of ringtone music. Yes, I love A Flock of Seagulls. That is, Iran is literally one of my top 10 favorite songs of all time. I'm not kidding. I love that song so much. The Mythmakers is a great story, by the way. I do like The Mythmakers. I've read the novelization of it, and I've seen the recon. Is it the algorithm, or are you ignoring my messages on purpose? I'm not ignoring your messages. No, I'm not ignoring you on purpose, Tedious. Not with a name like that. Tedious lives up to his name. He's a bit tedious. That's the Grace actress on the phone thanking you. I like Daphne. I've seen Daphne in some other stuff, actually. She is actually in an episode of Knight Rider, and I like Knight Rider a lot. She's in an episode of that. I like Daphne as an actress. I don't know. I just feel like her and McGann have really good chemistry together. I really do think they have some really good chemistry. And they click as characters. I like the 8th Doctor itself is, especially early in his run, is a very kind of romantic Doctor. So I could see him kind of clicking with Ace on that level. They have some fun banter between them. I don't know. She fits a companion for that TV movie really, really well. And I even love the joke when she's introducing to someone else. She's like, he's British. The little in joke there is funny to me. What do you guys think of Grace? You'll have to tell me. I like her. But I also like the TV movie a lot. It's flawed, but I like the TV movie. Yes, I like Daphne. She is great. Like I said, I've seen her in an episode of Knight Rider, and I feel like I've seen her in one of the other 80s shows, like the A-Team or Airwolf or something, because I love all of those shows. But I remember the Knight Rider episode she's in. Into my own hand and save everyone from the evil, incorrect opinions. That is funny. Hey, it's not my fault that I like Meg Lost better than Enemy of the World. And I've never actually seen The Massacre. For the record, I've never seen The Massacre, so I can't judge on that. But I still don't like when the Doctor runs into someone else that he's also playing. I don't like doubles. That's my problem with Black Orchid, too. I don't like Nyssa having someone else that looks just like Nyssa. Moving on to number 24, and we have Rose Tyler. Rose gets this high on the list mainly for Series 1. I've never watched the recons of the massacre either. Tedious is now being pedantic milkshake. Rose in series 1 is really good. She kind of turns into lovesick puppy Rose a little bit in series 2, although sometimes that's funny. Like in the Cybermen 2-parter, when the doctor mentions how he learned, here's some of the news from one of the serving girls, like Linda or whatever her name is, and Rose is like, "Oh, Linda, what did Linda tell you?" That's funny. That's funny. I will admit, I like seeing Rose Tyler. Sometimes I actually do plan on watching The Massacre. That is actually on my list to do, Tedious. And when I watch it, there will be reviews. So I do plan on watching it. I still have 7 classic news stories I haven't seen yet, and that's one of them. But it is on the agenda. And I'll make sure I mention when I'm doing the reviews for you. I prefer Martha Tyler to Rose. Rose and Meta Crisis is Meta Rose. I am happy Rose got her ending with her doctor. That's nice. I enjoy that. But yeah, I like Rose. Series 1, Rose is a great companion to start the show with. She's grounded, a modern day human companion. That's good for rebooting the show, because that's kind of the audience eyes. She's kind of the surrogate for us in there, I guess, is what I'm looking for. That works, that fits, I'm fine with it. Yeah, I never liked Martha ending up with Mickey. That felt so forced. But yeah, I enjoyed that with series 1. That works for me. Jake says, I love Rose, my first companion when I was 6. Exactly. She was a great companion to reboot the modern show with. She really was. Billie Piper played her just fine. I think her and Nine had a good chemistry together. I actually enjoy Rose a lot in series 1, and she's okay in series 2. I don't dislike her in series 2. Martha and Mickey did come out of nowhere. They really did. They really, really did. Number 23 on the list is Vicky. I love Vicky from, of course, The Rescue. I like Vicky a lot. Vicky is what Susan should have been. Vicky is great. I love the way Maureen O'Brien plays her. Also, Maureen O'Brien is a stunningly attractive young woman. I tend to like thin women like that. So it was very nice. But just The Rescue itself is such a good story, too. I really enjoy it. What was that enthusiasm suddenly? I like Vicky. I really like Vicky a lot. Vicky is just a fun character for me. I really enjoy Vicky. And you really see that soft, tender moment from the first Doctor. The first Doctor always seems to have this really soft side for Vicky, almost like she's a surrogate Susan to him. Like her pet, Zarby. I always enjoy in The Rescue when the first Doctor has that talk with her about forgiving Barbara. That's such a beautiful scene for Vicky and for the first Doctor. It's such a good scene. But I just like Vicky a lot as a companion. I enjoy every story I've seen Vicky in. I've liked her in. Even the animated Galaxy 4. I thought her departure was fine. I thought her departure was pretty good in the Mythmakers. I don't actually remember the opening scene of the chase, to be honest. I'm not a big fan of the chase. I've only watched it the one time. The first episode and the last episode are fine, but I don't really get into the chase, so I don't actually remember that first part. But I like Vicky a lot. I feel like, again, Vicky is just written better than Susan. She has more to do. She feels more fleshed out as a character, and I think Maureen O'Brien plays her well. I find Vicky a lot of fun. I get really excited when I watch a Vicky story. Number 22 is Nardole. I really like Nardole a lot with the 12th Doctor. Again, he's funny. I like companions that make me laugh. He's funny. And I understand the guy who plays Nardole, I think, is a comedian. I think that's what he does, is comedy. He sells it here. Nardole's just a fun character to watch. I really like him. She didn't think her departure was fine. Yeah, I remembered she was unexpected about that. Not too excited, I hope. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think that's when Vicky was breaking something. She dropped something and broke it, I think. But I like Nardole. He's just so much fun. He's hilarious. And part of that's just he's acted so well. He's great comic relief while still having serious moments. I like him. I think he was such a good character in the Husband of River song, they decided to bring him back. Like, I love the fact that he's like, yeah, they always get my hair wrong. You don't have hair. I have invisible hair. I enjoy that. Stephen and Vicky above Nardole, surely. Now, I like Nardole. Again, I'm a humor person, and he makes me laugh. And I think he was a nice addition. He didn't overstay his welcome either to me. I think he stayed just the right amount of time. But he could have some serious moments. He did a good job keeping 12 in check sometimes. I liked him. Next on the list, at number 21, is Romana 2, Lala Ward. I do prefer Romana 1, but I love Romana 2. Part of this, especially in season 17, works because her and Tom Baker have such good chemistry in season 17. Doctor Who doesn't need comic relief. Sometimes. Romana Palooza. Well, I mean, it's very obvious that Tom and Lala in season 17 had very good rapport, that they got on really, really well. I mean, watch them in City of Death. They're obviously quite smitten with each other. But yeah, Lala is good. I enjoyed Lala's time on the show. She's very different from Romana 1, but again, Time Lords, when they regenerate, they are very different, so that's fine. Adverts. Yeah, every now and then a commercial does pop up. I have ads too. Yes, I got to monetize the channel. Sorry about that. I didn't think they were actually popping up, but I cannot say Romana's full name, but I do like the first one better. An awful rapport in season 18, and then they got married. Yeah, it's not as apparent to me as some people make it out, but I think State of Decay is the one that's used as the most example that, like, they're never even looking each other in the eye. Yes, I appreciate that too, Shamrock. Yes, no ads. I think in State of Decay, like, they never look each other in the eye. Like, they're constantly talking. Like, I've never actually paid attention to that because I just love State of Decay for State of Decay. Romana Lollapalooza. You know, I think Romana 3 is just in Big Finish. Isn't there a Romana 3 in Big Finish, I think? I don't know. Romana 3 is the Ronnie. That's funny. That's hilarious. That would be funny. Like, the Ronnie is actually just a future evil Romana. That would be funny. But I don't know. I like Lala a lot. I just have other companions I like more. She's fun. She's adorable at times. She's a bit naive at times. But I love in The Horns of Naimon, Lala Ward seems to be the only one taking it seriously. Like, every other actor in The Horns of Naimon is just going as over the top as they could be. Even Tom in places. And Romana's playing it perfectly straight. Just perfectly straight. I absolutely love that. Like the scene when she's confronting Graham Chowder, whatever his name is, Saldeed, when she's confronting him, she's playing it serious, and what are you doing, and why are you doing this? And Saldeed is just being Saldeed all over the place about it. I love it so much. Lala does rule in Naimons. Crowden. Yeah, Chowder, like Crowden. Yeah. I love him though. He's great as Saldeed. What does the Prowl 1701 come from? Prowl is the name of my favorite Autobot, and 1701 is the registry number to the Enterprise. Two things I love: Transformers and Star Trek. But yeah, I like Lala. She's still a great Romana. And I loved her exit story, Warrior's Gate. I think it's a good exit story for her. Number 20 on the list is Captain Jack. I like Jack Harkness. John Barrowman always seems like he is having so much fun playing this character. Always. He looks like he is having such a good time playing this character. Warrior's Gate was filmed at Prowl's Castles. I wish I had a castle. I do technically have a castle. I have a Castle Grayskull right over here. Haha. I can't quite fit in it, though. You have been to my castle? I want to go to my castle. I do like Captain Jack a lot. I feel Jack is a great way to do an LGBTQ character because they let him naturally, organically be like a bisexual type character or whatever you want to identify his preferences as. It never feels forced. They never beat you over the head with it. They never market it like they're playing to the crowd. They don't do it just for the sake of doing it. It feels natural and organic, and I've always appreciated that about Jack. Jack is the bi legend we needed. Exactly. See, it feels natural about it. It doesn't feel forced with Jack. It just feels like this character's from the future. People from the future don't have the if you want to say limited way of thinking that we do now. I don't know if that's the right term. That feels like that would offend people. I don't mean it that way. But, people are much more open. Like the doctor tells her then, in the future, people get out and they dance. It just feels natural with Jack, and I love that. And John just plays Jack so well. It's just infectious. Jack's happiness and excitement and joy of being there is just infectious to the audience, I feel like. Shamrock says, I can't relate to him, but he was written well and not hitting anyone over the head with it. Exactly. And I like that about it. And he's fun. His stories he's in, he's always fun. Jack had chemistry with every character he was with. I agree. I would watch that Tedious. I would watch that Recon. Now, I never watched a lot of Torchwood. I only watched like the first 3 episodes of Torchwood. I wasn't into Torchwood much, but I did love him in Doctor Who. I was happy when he came back in the Whittaker era. Like when he shows up before, warning him about the lone Cybermen and Fugitive. That was great. And I also enjoyed, yes, I know. I told you guys it was going to be a long one, Jake. But I get distracted by the chat. It's called the Adolescent Lord. Yeah, I get very distracted by the chat. Sometimes I think Captain Jack meeting the first Doctor, and I would love to see Jack meet the first Doctor. And do not call me Doc. I need to do my homework, Doc. I believe that. But yeah, I like Jack. He's so much fun with every character. And Jack is that kind of character. You could see him interacting with every Doctor. Every single Doctor, I feel like Jack would get along with. One way or another, I feel like Jack would get along with. He's so likable. And that's why he's this high on the list. I love Jack. I was so happy when he came back in Revolution of the Daleks. Next on the list, and we're only at 19 on the list. We just still got 19 to go. Buckle up. Captain Jack and 3. That would have been funny. That would have been funny. Is Linda with a Y on the list? I don't think I put Linda on the list, but I should have. I like Linda. Captain Jack would not get along with 6. I don't know if 6 would like Jack, but Jack would like 6. Jack and 7 would be a banger. Number 19 on the list is Clara with 11. Now, if you've been here with us for the whole hour and 37 minutes, you would know that Clara is on the list twice, and we already talked about her with 12. But she's this high with 11 because I really actually like Clara with 11 a lot. They have really good chemistry. Matt Smith and Jenna Coleman have great chemistry. And while she's used more as a plot device, I still like their chemistry here. They have a flirtatious chemistry that I like. There's a Big Finish audio with Jack and 6 where Jack wears the rainbow coat. I know. I've seen the cover of that. I bet it's a hoop. I do think Clara and 11 was fantastic, but it was only in 8 episodes or so? Exactly. My biggest complaint, one of the biggest issues I have with Doctor Who ever is that we didn't get more of 11 with Clara. It is so criminal that we never got more with them because they had good chemistry. I loved their flirtatious nature. I love in what is it? Bells of St. John. When he's talking to her about, you need to get out and go, do stuff young people do, go out and dance. And she's like, what, with you, down boy? And he's like, no. They have such a flirtatious nature. It was the same way in Asylum of the Dalek with the Oswald, that little flirtatious nature that she has. I love that with her in 11. I don't know why, but I do. And I always wanted more of it. They're just an adventurous duo. And I absolutely love that. I wish we'd gotten more with them. Next on the list is, in number 18, is Romana 1. Mary Tam's Romana. I love Mary Tam's Romana. There's something regal about Romana 1. She holds herself almost like she's a princess. She stands like, she has this like perfect posture, straight up. Also, Mary Tam is probably one of the most attractive women I've ever seen. She just looks stunning. She has this very regal appearance. You could have told me she was a queen, I would have believed it. I really like her. I love that she might be book smarter than the Doctor in some ways. I do like the Stones of Blood cliffhanger, actually. But the Doctor has the street smarts, the experience, whereas Romana is more naive. She doesn't know how things work in the real world or the real galaxy. And so she's naive and doesn't believe things, or she trusts when she shouldn't trust. And I enjoy that. Like, but he had such an honest face. He was a crook, but he had an honest face. Season 16 is fine, aside from Prowl anyway. It's fine. I like season 16. Tom Baker doesn't have a bad season. Season 16 is good, Jake. I like season 16. I think it's a good season. It ranked really high. If you remember when I was ranking all of the seasons, season 16 was in the top 10. To me, the only bad thing about it was, yeah, I will admit Drax is a bit irksome. I agree with you on that. Drax was a Time Lord with a very, very British accent. Now, season 16 is fine, but season 16, Jake, is the one with Power of Prowl in it. I warned you about Power of Prowl. But I like Mary. She is my preferred Romana. I think she is a good companion for season 16. It is interesting to watch her learn over the course of the season and learn to trust the Doctor more. I'm really enjoying anytime I rewatch Key to Time because she's just such a fun companion. Power of Prowl is not good. Not good. This time you should be ashamed for being wrong and being incorrect. You need to ground yourself in your room for being wrong and being incorrect. I shouldn't have sent you all the Drax audios then. Whoops. I haven't listened to any of the Drax audios. The effects are quite impressive for the low budget. That's true. The effects are decent for the low budget. Next on the list is Martha Jones. Martha Jones. I like Martha Jones a lot. I love watching her arc. I think she's a strong character and a great person to step in after Rose. I'm not as keen on the pining after the Doctor thing, but I do love the fact that she grows as a character, and her pining after the Doctor and knowing it's never going to be reciprocated is why she leaves the TARDIS. She leaves because she knows he's never going to feel for her the way she does for him. So that's character growth, which I like. Also, Fremo's just a great actress and plays the character well. Martha comes across as a very strong, independent person, and that her adventures from the Doctor, I think, is they make her a better person. I mean, her marriage to Mickey is forced and weird, but other than that, Power of Prowl is my favorite Tom Baker story. Yeah, now you're just going to have to admit to being wrong. That's no, no. Martha is great with one glaring flaw. She's way too love struck for the Doctor. Which again works as a plot point because that's why she leaves the show. But yeah, Martha's a lot of fun. Plus, series 3 is just a strong series. And she's part of the reason for that. She's such a good companion. Power of Prowl is my favorite piece of television. I'm gonna have to change his name to Trolling Milkshake. You're just trolling at that point. Power of Prowl is my favorite thing. You're looking forward to that season 16 box set. Oh man. Where were we? Number 16 on the list, and I'm going to get in trouble for season 16. Season 16, number 16. I'm getting distracted. I'm going to have to put him in timeout again so I can focus on what I'm doing. They prefer Power of Prowl to you. Power of Troll. We're watching the Power of Troll. The Power of Troll. UD Kroll Anonymous, dude. I had to put him in timeout. I was getting too distracted. Yeah, number 16 is going to get me in trouble. I already know, and that is Joe Grant. Because the fact I don't have I don't have Joe in the top 10 is going to make a lot of people mad. Let me be clear. I love Katie Manning. My God, I love Katie Manning. You put Katie Manning in any kind of interview, behind the sofa, whatever, I am there. Katie is awesome. Yeah, Alice Tisdale says, you're in trouble. People are marching on my location now with torches and pitchforks. Let me be clear. I love Joe Grant. Yes, and I understand that argument. I love Joe Grant a lot. She's a great companion, and she has great character growth, and she is the definitive 3 companion. I get all of that. She's a little scatterbrained, and she makes decisions every now and then that make me want to throw things at the screen. Why are you doing that? Now, let's be honest. If you tell Joe not to do the thing and then turn your back, you might as well accept the fact Joe is going to go do the thing. That's Joe. Joe does whatever Joe thinks is best, even if no one else thinks it's best. Because Joe doesn't want to feel like she's being useless. She wants to help. Yeah, see, I agree with Sutter. Joe is a great companion, but overrated. Katie is a dream. I love Katie Manning so much. I love Katie Manning. She is great. I would love to meet Katie Manning. But just Joe as a companion, I would have preferred maybe she only had done 2 seasons and I'd had another season with 3 and Sarah. She has, and I love her character growth. I do. Her art, it is such a great character growth. It really is. Just for some reason, all of the ones that are above her, I tend to prefer over her. Again, there are times like in the Daemons when she gives up her hiding spot to go save a bird. If I was Yates, I would be strangling her. And I mentioned this when I reviewed the Daemons when I watched it the first time. I literally out loud yelled at the screen like, "You stupid!" Like I was literally cussing at the screen because of that. And 10 and her and Pertwee is so very special. Don't you dare take 10 away. Hey, I love season 10. I love season 10. But Joe, just like I said, occasionally she makes those decisions that have me over there going, I can see where a lot of people would find Joe and 3 as comfort food. It's easy to tell Pertwee and Katie had such good chemistry together. Next on the list in 15th place is Tegan. I love Tegan. I love her sass. Part of this for me works. What's up, Mango? How are you doing? Part of Tegan for me is the fact that in real life, I just love Peter. I love when Peter Davison and Sarah Sutton and Janet Fielding get together. They are a hoot. You can tell they respect each other, they like each other, and they get on like really, really well. That's why I'm looking forward to eventually getting my season 20 box set, hopefully before places freeze over, because I want to watch the road trips. So in real life, you see the chemistry they have. Oh my God, is it tedious again? That is hilarious. Janet Fielding on Behind the Sofa. I love Janet Fielding on Behind the Sofa myself, who is tedious. Someone who is very tedious. But I do like Tegan a lot. She just has this sass. She doesn't put up with stuff. She calls the doctor out on things. I like how she goes through all that to get home just to realize she doesn't want to get home. I tend to like Tegan in episodes. And I feel like for an era that has such a crowded TARDIS, Tegan really does get a lot of time. She gets a lot of development. To have a TARDIS that crowded and to still get that many stories where she really gets to shine, like Kinda and Snake Dance and Enlightenment, where she is kind of the main focus point, I think is really neat. And so I enjoy that. Tegan's just a really cool companion. She's one of the things I like most about the Davison era. Copies of the Kroll DVD. Hey, that would be the first time that Power of Kroll DVDs were actually useful for something. Number 14 on the list is Zoe. I love Zoe, Whitby's second Doctor. I love when the Doctor has intelligent companions that can kind of keep up with him. Now, obviously, she's not as smart as the Doctor, but I like when companions can keep up with the Doctor, when they are smart, when he's not having to explain everything to them. And Zoe's really good at that. Plus, Wendy just plays such a good job playing her. I will always adore that scene in the Crotons when the Doctor's trying to figure out how to use the machine. He's like, what's this do? What's this button? Go away. Oh, wait, come back. What's that doing? She's still over there. Press the button. I love that scene so much. It's so adorable. Like, the second Doctor always feels like the kind of kooky, crazy uncle to Zoe. You know, that fun uncle that's a little kooky? That's how he feels to Zoe. You pray to them each night. Crow, crow, crow. That's exactly what you do, isn't it? How much did the Crow House cost? 200 quid, which would still be the most, cost-effective thing anyone's ever gotten out of a Kroll DVD. Yeah, I like Zoe a lot. She is a really good companion. I wish we'd gotten more of her. Like, I would have rather just not had Victoria and had Zoe a season sooner. I love Zoe. Next on the list, oh God, this is another one that's going to get me in trouble. In 13th place, not quite making the top 10, and dear Lord, guys, don't hurt me. In 13th place, all right, go ahead and get out the torches and pitchforks, is Ace. Now, I love Ace. You guys know I love Ace. She is a definitive companion, and her and Seven fit together beautifully. They have a wonderful mentor-teacher dynamic. And Sophie is so good, Boothus, man. I knew it. I need to bunker down. I'm going to have to go into hiding after this. Ace is great. I love Ace. You guys know I love Ace. So here's the thing. Technically, I haven't met Ace yet because I stopped after Bannerman. And don't feel bad about that, Alice Dishes. Bannerman is enough to make anyone want to stop. It's awful. No, I wouldn't put Ace in the top 10, to be honest. Nice. I like Ace a lot. I mean, she got to beat up a Dalek with a baseball bat twice. And I was happy to see Ace come back in Power of the Daleks, even if they did get a little too fan servicey with her with the jacket and acting like she's still a teenager. If she brings her baseball bat around to your house, don't blame us. I get a knock on the door and it's Sophie with her bat. So let's talk about this list of yours. I'd have to move her to the number 1 spot immediately. But I do like Ace. I mean, she is one of the best companions, let's be honest. She's great in Dragonfire. She's one of the things I love about Dragonfire. I also really like season 25 and season 26. You guys know I'm a big fan of season 25 and season 26. Ace is a strong part of that. Ace is also one of those times where we really got a fleshed out companion. We got to see kind of her family home and stuff. You know, some people call Ace the kind of prototype to what we would get with Rose and Modern Who, and I can see their arguments with that. She really is. She really is a great companion. Number 12 on the list is Wilf, Donna's grandfather. How can you not love Bernard Cribbins as Donna's grandfather? He is great. I really enjoyed Wilf. He's just fantastic. He's a lot of fun. I believe it. Ace isn't as much a stereotype as Rose was. That's true. But just, I don't know. Bernard Cribbins is Wilf. Wilf, I just love him. I don't know. He seems so grandfatherly. He's so good in that role, which I like him in Dalek Invasion Earth movie too, but he's just so good as Wilf. You really get the bond between him and Ten. They really do feel like they bond and they have a good connection. You can tell they like and respect each other. I just really like him whenever he showed up. I wish we'd gotten more with Wilf, and I'm so happy that we are getting Wilf in the 60th anniversary episodes that Bernard had managed to do. Yes, he was amazing as Wilf. And I'm glad we have some more of him we'll see in the 60th specials because he had filmed those before he passed away. So I am looking forward to that. It's so much fun to watch. Number 11 is the Lady Christine D'Souza, or whatever her name was, Michelle Ryan's character from Planet of the Dead, which is way higher than I know a lot of you would have put her. But I love Planet of the Dead. It's my favorite of the Tennant specials. I've talked about this before. It's a lot of fun. Asa and Dalek Invasion of Earth, perfect and New Who. Yes, Bernard was. I really like Michelle Ryan's character in Planet of the Dead. Again, her and Ten have this flirty nature that works for me. Like, a lot of times the Doctor being, kind of flirty romantic thing does not work for me. But her and 10 had it really good here. I love that. But she's like, you're an alien too? He goes, yeah, but you don't have to kiss me either. But she does anyway later in the story. Plus, I just love the idea of an aristocratic thief that does it, not because she has to do it, but because she thinks it's fun to do it, which I know was originally the idea for the character that was going to replace Ace in season 27. So I'm kind of glad they did her as a nod to that. At least I'm assuming that's why they did that. And Michelle plays her well. I love when she gets to like slide down Mission Impossible style to get the thing. I love Planet of the Dead a lot. They have such a good chemistry, the characters and the actors. I need a mango milkshake. Dang, when did Cribbins pass? Bernard Cribbins passed over a year ago, Shamrock. He passed not long after he finished his scenes. When he filmed some scenes for the 60th, and he died not long ago because of that. Not because of that, but he passed away not long after. I think he died in like July or August of last year. So he passed away a little over a year ago. Where was I? Oh, yeah, Planet of the Dead. But I just think they have such good chemistry together. I really, really enjoy. I thought he had died a couple years ago. He died a little over a year ago, summer of 2022. But yeah, Planet of the Dead works for me because it's such a fun story. She's so good in it. Even as a one-off companion, I count her as a companion just because they have so much good chemistry and it's such a fun watch. Cracking into the top 10. Finally in the top 10. Only 2 hours in. Told you guys this was going to be a long one. Number 9 and number 10 are Ian and Barbara. I love Ian and Barbara. Ian is just so much fun. He is. He really does kind of have this strong male lead type. You know, because the first Doctor was kind of an older character, so he was more the wisdom. Well, I don't know if that's the right thing to say. But, you know, he's the kind of older grandfatherly character, whereas Ian was more the younger, action, handsome hero type. And I think he's played well. Answer me, why are you calling me Mango Milkshake? I wasn't. I was talking about Mango. Mango Milkshake. I was talking about Mango. But Ian, I really like Ian's sword fighting in the Romans, too. He's actually really good. You can tell that William was trained to sword fight and stuff. When he's doing that sword fighting scene in the Romans is so good. He's a really strong character. Having watched so much more of the first Doctor since I started the channel, I've really come to like Ian a lot. He's a really well-written, strong character. Oh, I have no idea if you're Mango or not. I don't really think about it that much, Tedious. Barbara, too, is really a masterpiece because she's such a strongly written female character, especially for 1963. You know, anytime people want to talk about how Modern Who's better because it writes stronger female leads than the companions from Classic Who, you know, I point to Barbara and go, Doctor Who has had strong female leads from the beginning. Susan's not a good example of that, but Barbara is. I love how well she's played. Really, really well. I'm running out of gas. I can tell I'm running out of gas. But she's just written strongly, and like Ian and Barbara work well together, but they also work really well separately. They actually do work really, really well separately as well, and I enjoy that a lot. They're really, really strong. They are really, really strong. All right. I'm going to move a couple of those so I can focus. There. I would imagine most of y'all like Ian and Barbara as well. They are really, really strong, good characters. Okay. Next one on the list is number 8. And number 8 is one I have never. Ian and Barbara are the definitive first Doctor companions. I agree. And that's why Susan was toward the bottom of the list. Yes, I like Ian and Barbara a lot. Number 8 is an interesting one because number 8 is a companion I don't think I've ever heard anyone talk bad about. You ever met that one companion that's just universally loved by everybody because he's awesome? And that is Sergeant Benton. I love Benton. Maybe it's, John Levine has talked many times about how nervous he was in the role and how he didn't want to upset anybody. And maybe that's part of what makes Benton so adorable. I love Benton because he seems like such a nice character, such a good character. I've never heard anyone talk bad about Benton. Everyone seems to like Benton. I love him. I always enjoy when Benton shows up in a story, and I always like when Benton has stuff to do. For my criticisms against the Daemons, because you guys know I find the Daemons a little overrated, one of the things I love about it is that Benton gets a lot to do. I am a huge, huge fan of Benton. He's one of my favorite parts of the Pertwee era. Yeah, Benton and the Green Death was, yes, come get your din-din, Sergeant Benton, if you please. I don't know. There's this, I don't know if innocence is the right word. Maybe innocence, this kindness to him. That it's one of the reasons why the Inferno version of Benton is so interesting, the Otherworld one, because he's so much more brutish. It's like regular Benton with the niceness taken away. And I really enjoy that. I really, really enjoy that so much. Benton is one of my favorite characters. I've never heard anyone who just didn't like Benton. He's so much fun. Number 7 on the list is the Brigadier, Alistair Gordon Lethbridge Stewart. The Brigadier is just quintessential companion. Even if he doesn't really get to travel in the TARDIS much, he is one of the quintessential companions. I mean, when Nicholas Courtney passed away, the modern series acknowledged that with the Doctor trying to call him on the phone. We did get Kate Stewart as a nod to that. I mean, it's obvious the Brigadier is a huge part of the fandom. He's in a bunch of the spinoff stuff from the 90s, the unofficial stuff from the 90s. He is just one of those quintessential Doctor Who companions. Nicholas Courtney plays him so well, occasionally over the top, but usually so well. And the Brigadier got to interact with so many versions of the Doctor. And him and the second Doctor are great. I love 2 with the Brigadier. 3 with the Brigadier is great. 4 is, 5, 7. And in, what is it? The Children in Need special, at least you got him running around with 6 for a little bit, even if that special was terrible. I absolutely love the Brigadier. I mean, it's one of those ones, if you start with a modern series, you hear so much about the Brigadier that when you finally run into him in Classic Who, you're like, you actually get to meet him and see him. I love Alistair Gordon Lethbridge Stewart. Number 6 on the list is Liz Shaw. This one's probably higher than people might have Liz, but I love Liz. Again, I love the brainy companions that can kind of keep up with the Doctor. And then Liz also has that bit of sass to her, especially in Spearhead from Space. One of the reasons she's this high is I love her in Spearhead in Space. One of my favorite lines in all of Doctor Who by a companion is when she's talking to someone and she's like, "Oh, don't you know? It's not a police box. It's a spaceship." It's the way Carolyn John delivers that line with that smile. Also, Carolyn John has one of the most beautiful smiles I've ever seen. And it's not like impressing someone's smile. It's just her natural smile. It's a spaceship. I love that. I just love the sass. There are so many times where she has these little snarky remarks. She's very snarky in Spearhead. Those snarky remarks, like when she's trying to work and someone's interrupting her. It's like, yeah, I could get this done faster if you go away. I love that. Baby Benton. Baby Benton is funny. I also like the alternate version of her in Inferno, which Carolyn John also enjoyed playing, because I really think that's a nice spin on Liz. I don't remember as much from Silurians and Ambassadors because I haven't watched them in a while, but I still like her in them. But I love her in Spearhead. Just that snarky, while still being brainy personality of hers. I absolutely love. So yes, I have Liz Shaw over Jo Grant. I know, right? I know, but I absolutely love Liz. Cracking the top 10, we have at number 5, well, cracking the top 5. At number 5, we have Donna Noble. My favorite modern companion. I love Donna. I mean, as you saw just from my reaction to the trailer while we were filming this, I love Donna. She's, again, snarky, sarcastic, does her own thing, independent, strong-minded. Her and Tin have such good chemistry. There's absolutely no romantic attachment there. It is completely platonic. But they get on so well. I still love that. I just want to mate. You just want to mate? Hey, mate. Hey, mate. I absolutely love that. That is great. I enjoy that immensely. Donna's so much fun. Series 4 is a good series. A little overrated, but a good series. But Donna is one of the reasons it's so strong. I absolutely love the scene in The Unicorn and the Wasp when he's poisoned and she's trying to figure out how to save him. That whole scene is hilarious. Bigger bang, salt bang, bigger bang, salt bang. Now do something to shock me. So she kisses him and it works in the gas. I love Donna. I love Donna. And don't get me wrong, Catherine Tate can do this. I mean, I know Catherine Tate is a comedian. That's what she does. She's a comedian. She can do those serious moments really well. Like in Fires of Pompeii, when she's upset, she's like, just save someone, just anyone. Or when the doctor's having to erase her memory at the end of series 4. She is very good at doing those dramatic moments, but I love her comedy bits. When they first see each other in Partners in Crime, and they're talking to each other at the window, and she's over there, it's me. And he's like, I can see that. And then she starts doing all of you just see the 10th Doctor over there. Eh? I love Donna. Donna is just so much fun. She's so much fun. Number 4 on the list is K9. What's up, Adrian? How you doing, buddy? It's always good to see you stop in. This one's been going for a while. We are currently at number 4 on the list, which is K9. I love K9. I did not put Glitz on the list. I apologize for not putting Glitz on the list. I love Glitz. I love Glitz. It's always good to see Adrian swinging by. Tedious back. I got to give Tedious credit. He is a tenacious milkshake. Yes, I love K9, man. John Leeson is so good as K9. I'm always a little disappointed in season 17 when it's not John voicing K9. I mean, David does a fine job. I think it was David does a fine job voicing him in season 17, but I'm always a little disappointed it's not. No, Tedious. No, you weren't upsetting me. You were simply distracting me. That's on me. I multitask very badly, but you weren't upsetting me in any way. I kept getting distracted while I was trying to talk. Have you seen the new trailer for the 60th? Yes, Adrian, I have. I actually reacted to it live. It dropped during the live stream. So there's actually a reaction to it in the live stream. I needed to be able to focus on this. Tedious. I just had you removed for a minute so I could focus on this. Because it's already 2 hours long. I get distracted so easy by the chat. But you're doing so now. And besides, I think that was just for this stream. But I love K9. I love K9. The only bad thing about K9 is K9 and Company. That was truly awful. Yeah, I didn't get into K9 and Company much, except for the intro theme. I love the intro theme to K9 and Company a lot. K9 and Company has a great intro, but other than that, it's not a good series. And I never did watch that spinoff series they did a few years ago. I heard it was terrible. It was terrible. The intro is surprisingly good. But I love K9. I don't know why. John Leeson's voice just makes it work for him. I love that voice. I absolutely love School Reunion. 1, because, of course, it brings back Sarah. But 2, I love the fact they brought back K9 and School Reunion. He's just a fun companion to watch. Really good companion. Number 3 on the list is Jamie, who is, of course, my favorite male companion. I love Jamie. I've ordered my season 20 box set today. I ordered my season 20 box set in July and still haven't gotten it yet. It shipped out Monday and it's still on its way. I'm in the States. And it's taking about 1,000 years across the pond. It's in customs now. But I like Jamie a lot. Jamie is so good. He is just so good. Jamie, it's really easy to tell that the second Doctor or Patrick Troughton and Fraser Hines got on really well. Just in real life, they got on well. And you can tell they got on well. That really blends over to the screen. I'll let you know, Tedious, when I'm on the channel, not when I'm on this. James says you won't regret it. It's awesome. Yes, I want my season 20 set. But yeah, Jamie is my favorite companion too. Jamie and 2 is perfect. I love Jamie. I absolutely love Jamie. Just Fraser is so good at that. And it's like, of course, Jamie's not going to be as smart as some of the companions because of the time he's from. But it's done in this playful way. It never feels insulting. It just feels Like, I love in that one Abominable Snowman when, hi, doctor, I've got an idea. And it's like, doctor's like, oh, okay, come along, Victoria. Jamie's had an idea. Sometimes discretion is the better part of valor. That's hilarious. And you almost wonder if Troutman came up with that on the spot just to poke fun at Frasier. Because, again, they got on really well. Alistacia says Jamie is my favorite as well. Yeah, I love Jamie. He's one of the reasons I love the Second Doctor era. The Second Doctor era is amazing for several reasons. One, with Zoe. Two, Jamie. Three, Patrick Troughton. And four, the stories. But he's definitely a strong part of that. This is one of those times when discretion is the better part of valor. You see, Jamie has an idea. I love that. I love that. And then that goodbye the Second Doctor does to Jamie and Zoe at the end, like, goodbye, Jamie, goodbye, Jamie. And that little wave he does, oh, it's so heartbreaking. It is so heartbreaking. Yes, I can't wait to have it. I'm looking forward to seeing Five Doctors. I love Five Doctors. So, yeah, Jamie at number 3. I absolutely am a huge fan of Jamie. 130 minutes of quality entertainment. I hope so. I hope so. I apologize if this has been way too long. I knew when I didn't film this as a pre-filmed video and I did it live, I knew it was going to be way longer because I always enjoy interacting with you guys. Even Tedious. Tedious has been kind of a hoot in this, I'll be honest. Who have I missed? A lot of people. You'll have to rewatch the video. I'm not going back and counting everybody. Even Tedious has had me tickled pink in some places. That's just my sense of humor. Number 2 on the list, and I have to say before I tell everybody number 2, see, I knew when I started this list that number 1 was going to be number 1. Most of you probably already knew number 1 before I started because I've said many times who my favorite companion is. I knew number 1. I did not know number 2. Like I've told you guys before, a lot of times I do my list mostly from the ground up. I knew number 1 was number 1. Everyone else on this list was done from the ground up. I started at the bottom and I worked my way up. And so number 2, I didn't know it was going to be number 2 until I got to number 2. And I was like, and that is Leela. I love Leela. Now, I know I love Leela. I'm a huge fan of Leela. I love having a non-contemporary companion in Doctor Who. One of the biggest missteps for modern Who is that every companion is from modern day Earth. It gets a little tedious, actually. That's a good word to use. It gets a little monotonous. So I really like having someone like Leela from this kind of more primitive setting, this more savage type character. And Louise just does such a good job playing her. She does such a good job playing it. Leela is my favorite Fourth Doctor man. She's so much fun. And when I met her, she was the loveliest woman ever. Simon! What's up, Simon? Hey, Simon! Simon has been a huge supporter of this channel as well and has sent several things to the P.O. Box. Always happy to see him. What's up, buddy? Yes, but Leela's so much fun. And then the stories she's in. I mean, Leela, if you think about it, is only in the show for a season and a half of season 14 and season 15. But she is great. She is really, really good. She's very good in the role. And I love the fact they even changed her eye colors to make Louise happy because she got tired of wearing the contacts. And just, again, Louise performing her is so well, really makes her work for me. So, yes, Zoe was number 14. Zoe was 14. But Leela is definitely a strong number 2. Number 1 on the list, of course, Sarah Jane Smith. Leela wore contacts because Louise Jameson has blue eyes and they wanted Leela to have brown eyes. That's why in season 14, Leela has brown eyes. But in the Horror of Fang Rock, she gets exposed to that light from the comet and it changes her eyes color because she was going to leave if they didn't let her stop wearing the contacts. That's why in season 15, Leela has blue eyes, which is her normal color. She hated wearing those. Yes, while you were watching Kroll. Well, that's because, again, they wanted Leela to originally have brown eyes to match her more savage look with the brown hair, I guess. But Louise really hated wearing the contacts, so they did that little bit in Horror of Fang Rock for a reason for her to suddenly have blue eyes. But number 1 on the list is Sarah Jane Smith. You guys know. Did you get your season 20? No, I have not gotten my season 20. I don't even know if Customs works on the weekend. I think it's due to deliver on the 28th. I have not gotten it. Introducing Leela in 2023 as a scantily clad woman who likes killing with knives. I would love it. I would love it. Yeah, we were talking about Sarah Jane. So number one on the list is Sarah Jane Smith. You guys know I love Sarah Jane. I mean, Elizabeth Sladen was just truly amazing in this role. She's the definitive companion for me. Not only is she just amazing with Tom, and it's easy to tell her and Tom got on really well. She's also amazing with John. I tend to love season 13. I took these off too soon. I love her with John in season 13. Sarah Jane is great, so I can't fault your choice. I'm not sure if she quite make my top 10. I enjoy her. There's a reason why Sarah was brought back in the modern series so early. Why they brought back a classic companion in season 2 or series 2, and why it was Sarah. She's just beloved as a companion. And, you know, she was there for so long. She's there for over 3 seasons. She's like there for 3 1/3. She does season 11, 12, 13, and the first part of 14. 12 with Clara. Oh, Unknown 289, number 1, 12 with Clara. Who all's trolling? No, so you're not the first person to tell me they thought Sarah Jane was overrated. It's not true. She's great. I absolutely love Sarah, though. She's just a definitive companion for me. I love going back. I feel like I love how well she's written early in her run in series 11 too. She's such a strong, independent character. How like she doesn't trust the Doctor in the Time Warrior and how she captures him. I enjoy her in Invasion of the Dinosaurs with him. I love her in Monster of Peladon. She's the best part of Monster of Peladon. Of all of the stories Sarah Jane's in, one of the ones where as a character she's written the best is in Monster of Peladon. And so she's really, really good in that. What do you think about Mel being brought back for season 14 of Modern? I'm happy about it. Hopefully they can do her character justice. Mel was very low on this list, so I'm hoping they can do her justice. I do like Lynx. Lynx is great. He's my favorite Centauran. But just I love that scene in Monsters of Peladon when Sarah's like kneeled down. She's your woman, right? I am not his, and the Doctor's having to hold her down. Like, would you be quiet? I love that. Number 1, Mel. What? I love season 12 Behind the Sofa with Tom and Elizabeth's Doctor watching Sarah Jane. That's true. Sadie is great. Sadie Miller actually voices Sarah Jane in the audios now. The one person in the fandom would definitely have accepted doing that, which is really nice. But yeah, I love Sarah. Every now and then, I don't like what they do with her character. She does get a little two-dimensional in some stories with Tom's run. And I don't like that. I don't really care for her subplot in Genesis, actually. I feel like that's a bit filler. And I don't like the fact she gets hypnotized in not only her penultimate story, but also her ultimate story, her last story. Her last 2 stories, she gets kind of hypnotized. So I don't always enjoy with everything they do with it. I thought it was neat they tried to give her a spinoff with K9 and Company, even if that didn't work. But I love the fact she got her revenge all those years later with the Sarah Jane adventures. I mean, Sarah Jane really is a companion, if you think about it, that has been a role model for multiple generations. For people who grew up with Classic Who in the 70s, and for people who grew up with Sarah Jane adventures and seeing Sarah back in Modern Who. And School Reunion's written so well that even if you've never seen Classic Who, it communicates how close these 2 companions were, how close the Doctor and her were in School Reunion. You can get that just from School Reunion, and you get how the sadness and everything that went on with them. I love that. That's just done really, really well. Really, really well. Yeah, I can't believe I've been watching this for 2.5 hours. I can't believe I've been doing this for 2.5 hours. I'm running on fumes. I'm going to have to take a break when I get done. But Sarah Jane, definitely my number 1. I think the best Doctor Who character, a companion of all time. But a lot of you guys probably knew that going in. So I think that about wraps it up. We've had a lot we've gone through here. We've learned how I rank the companions. We've learned Tedious lives up to his name, that he also really likes mangoes. And we've also done a reaction to the trailer, which dropped while we were doing this video. So we've had a lot of fun in the chat today, I think. Have you read Scratchman? Yes, I have. I did not really care for it, to be honest. I have read Scratchman. One of my subscribers sent it. The first half of it was pretty good. The last half of it was not. I do not recommend it. And he loves shorts. Yes, he also loves shorts. Who wears shorts? So I think we're gonna about wrap it up here, guys. Don't forget to clap. Don't forget to click the subscribe button and the like button and all of that fun stuff. Don't forget YouTube memberships are available. Thank you to Shamrock for joining that, and also Christopher Johnson, who has joined that. Don't forget the Patreon as well. Patreons get very early access to stuff. They have access to videos that aren't going up until like the middle of next month. And my entry level tier there is only $2 a month. Y'all should check that out if you want early access to videos. This is too fun. Don't stop. I have to stop. I'm getting tired. I'm so hot. This day now. Be not so tedious, maybe. I also, of course, have a P.O. box if you guys want to send anything for me to look at and review, Doctor Who related or otherwise. I have added some stuff to the Amazon wish list. Like I added the Star Trek movie set and the Star Trek Next Generation movie sets on 4Ks because I'd love to get those if y'all want to send those. I can definitely believe that Tedious needs to do homework. So if y'all want to send anything, feel free to send anything. I certainly always appreciate you guys hanging out. It's been great fun. It has been great fun, Jake. As always, guys, you know I appreciate y'all watching, and I hope all of y'all have a fantastic day. I'm going to call my best friend back and see what he's up to. Next stream, rank every episode individually. My God, I would die. Have a great day and week. You too, Shamrock. I will see y'all soon. As always, thank y'all for watching.